Charlamagne in an interview with a Fox News pundit seemed like the extremists.
You know, shout out to LOY. Tony be doing that. And it makes me want to.
What's Tone doing for 5K subs? Noble for 1K. White man for 100. Is that how much they value us?
Yeah, I'm actually in poverty right now.
Yeah.
Up, you know what I'm saying? Like
you were Biggie and Notorious.
Nigga
had mashed potatoes under his bed.
You kind of got the drug dealer story. There's definitely more details to it though. Like,
I was about to say,
wait till you get the tap dance.
Yeah, this is a long life. Like,
I might have to call you for Charlamagne.
So Akademiks officially
It happened.
denounced Boom pretty much.
Cheerfully.
Once I saw her, you know, I know a ghetto when I see one,
Right.
I know when, the good ones. You know, knowing Joe, he a little. You know, he like to sell some snake oil every now and then. So.
Hello, welcome world. Bam, beat 'em people. Welcome back to another installment of the Homeroom University podcast. You see, this is the podcast about your favorite podcasts. I am your classmates on group.
Jay Noblez.
AJ the Menace.
White man behind the boards.
Yeah.
Yes, we are back in the goddamn building. Thank you for clicking on the video. Like, share, subscribe. You probably already have done that.
And thank you for clicking on the audio.
And thank you for clicking on the audio.
Drop the RSS
we
feed.
always say this, it's dangerous to have YouTube up while you're driving. So just go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, have us playing in the background, all right? Office hours, hashtag office hours, any questions or concerns, we gonna get to it, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Also, we'll run through, you know, of course, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. They're at the bottom of the screen.
Boom.
White man is going to be gone this week, so we're actually recording at a different. We're recording on an opposite day, a day before that we normally record. So
this is an odd day.
We just gave y'all one on Friday. Only 2 days or 3 days have passed, so it's like.
Hey,
put it this way: everything you see coming up this week was recorded today.
Yes, and
sure.
The most important thing is this week, I haven't dropped any episodes chopped down from the Joe Budden collaboration. Y'all are going to be getting those all this week. So we really need y'all help. Even if you've seen the episode already, the full episode, make sure you go through and like. And if you can, drop a comment. But bare minimum, make sure you click that video and like it, even if you've seen it already.
Oh, yeah, rewatch that shit.
Exactly. And then all the clips from our Friday episode will be dropping this week as well, too. So same thing is always going to apply. Even if you fuck with us or you're a classmate, you got your bachelor's degree, that means you're on the Patreon. If you support us in any way, anytime those videos drop on YouTube, even if you've seen the full episode, hit that like and drop a comment if you have the time for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a fan of higher education, donate to your university.
Yeah.
It's not always financial, nigga. Like it's these comments, it's these likes, it's these subs, it's
those
these
likes
bells.
go a long way. I can promise y'all that.
For real.
They go a long way. Like
if you're true alumni,
if you're true alumni and you understand that we also need to be favorable in the algorithm, you're gonna help us out by hitting them likes.
Yeah, man. Shout out all the alumni that subscribe to the Patreon, which is now $5.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? For now, y'all know the joke.
Are you
but yeah, make sure you check that
students
out.
out there?
And then also
Believe
keep an eye out for our community tab, because I did a collaboration, or Olay invited me on her podcast, Olay and Friends. I don't know. It might have come out today, which is Tuesday. I don't know exactly. She said if it takes any longer, she'll let me know. But just keep an eye out in the community tab, because when it does drop, I'll repost it in there so all of y'all can find it and help gas it up. And make sure maybe drop some graduation caps in the comments, just so that our presence is felt.
Our presence is felt.
You know what I'm saying? Just so it's we gotta help everybody and like her video, of course.
Help us permeate these atmospheres.
Yeah,
it's
you know
kind of
what
like
I'm
the bat signal when you see the graduation cap.
You already know what it is.
It's 3 astute brothers behind that.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, so that's about it.
Shout out to lovely ladies too.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
announcements and all that, and we'll jump right into this first topic. All right, the Breakfast Club did an interview with Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan popped up there, and it was Charlamagne and Envy, obviously, because there's no third host still. I thought it was a great interview. One of the better interviews that I've seen, like, because I'm only tuning into Breakfast Club right now for interviews. But this was like, I really enjoyed this interview.
Yeah.
This is honestly the first interview I watched in months.
Because of Piers.
The beginning of last year.
Because of Piers, Piers Morgan, just in general, it's like I've been watching him. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show, but like I didn't even know he existed until he did the thing with Andrew Tate. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, he's popping up with a bunch, because he was tapping into that red pill area a lot. So a lot of the big people in those spaces, and just online debater people just started
And
popping
he's
up
a
on the
legend.
show.
He went to the.
Oh my God, bro! His
Yeah.
resume was crazy.
His resume is extensive, nigga. He's a
fuck,
legend.
yeah.
Which is why it was crazy to see him in the gutter with all these friends dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally,
what's
yeah,
it, 𝙼𝙾𝚃𝚃?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's why I'm just thinking he's just this new voice, or not
Yeah.
new, but obviously he's been around. But I was like, God damn, like hearing his background for real,
Yeah.
just the shit that he was doing before 38, before at the age of 27. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, he really been doing that
Bro,
shit.
he's a legend. And it's
Yeah.
one of those things where, like,
You respect
I've
the British
always
dude.
known about him, but I never cared about him. You get what I mean? And it's, I guess, I mean, he did exactly what he had to do because now, you know, nigga on the Breakfast Club, he got a new audience. And what was, you think that was the only reason he did this? Or he kind of fucked with
No.
Charlamagne. He's kind of.
Charlamagne's been on Piers Morgan before,
They
so it's
have,
probably just
yeah.
one of those, extensions of the favors.
And Piers is huge. He's like,
It
on
makes
the
sense.
Club. He's big.
Yeah.
In that political and
Oh, yeah, he's
political
big.
world
Yeah,
and everywhere.
yeah.
But this segment would not be right unless I didn't. Elbows out, baby. For the
Yeah,
next 10,
yeah.
15 minutes.
Dirty buckets.
Bully.
Yeah, no, these are
Flagrant
clean.
fouls.
These are
Clean
clean
buckets.
buckets. You might not like how I get them off.
Just a
you know what
different
I'm saying?
era. Different era, I hope.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
so
He
all right,
using
man.
his elbows.
Yeah, so outside of the I did think the interview was being amazing. It was just like another example of the things that frustrate me with Charlamagne in terms of like elevating his overall conversation and alleged objectivity. So it's like during this interview, there's several things that are happening. Like Piers is coming from the objective mind state. Obviously, he's like, one thing I will give Piers, at least in this interview, I've seen him not be fair either, but he was he was bouncing back and forth between both sides of
His moral
opinions.
So it was pretty
compass.
playful.
Had a very even bounce back and forth. And what was driving me crazy was just like Charlamagne, they even said there was a moment in the interview when he was like, I think you're like me and you're objective and you're not extreme left or extreme right. And it was like he kind of level set we're both objective. But as the conversation continued, Charlamagne could not walk into the level setting that they had already set. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't see the same amount of nuance. Like, it's crazy that Charlamagne in an interview with a Fox News pundit
Yeah.
seemed like the extremist.
Yeah.
And he seemed
Yes.
like the moderate.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
he defended Trump, but, it was rationale behind it. It was criticism mixed
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
it. And it's like Charlamagne, it's almost like he couldn't speak outside of talking points that people who don't really think this shit out all the way do.
Yes. And it was just like
But from the common man,
Yeah.
from the but then it's like
the niggas who
you're
not
putting
voting.
all these reps in, bro. It's like you're putting all these reps in, and of course there's going to be a learning curve in terms of like doing political conversation. But having actually having less education in political conversations means you should be more objective than the next person.
You should have a greater perspective.
You should have a greater perspective
And
because
it's-
you're not.
and-
You haven't been. There's no indoctrin over you,
Yeah,
hanging
no sort
over
of
your
brainwash or
Yeah,
anything,
right.
in a
And
sense.
That's known. That's
verbalized.
verbalized.
That's verbalized, yeah.
Because there's an obvious one
Right.
that he has that he moves
But
with,
there's not
it's-
one that a system has kind of
And that-
instituted.
that he claims he's not a part of.
And I feel
Right,
like
right.
a lot of that brainwash is coming from some superior. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because we talked about this a little bit. Like, I pray this is not like his
actual thought process.
his real thoughts, or at least like he's kind of like playing the character of Charlamagne by keeping it base level.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
On
yeah.
some like satirical shit. But
Yeah, but I feel like even if you're in the infancy stage of your political philosophies and how you want things to be,
Yeah.
you should still, if you're talking to a person who is obviously an expert in this field, you got to have some type of skepticism when it comes to things that they're saying.
because he knows more than you.
Yeah,
and you the
because-
mark.
Well, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be wary
But
of what could be because
it depends.
this is a professional spin
But it's
artist.
also that can make you come
Piers
off,
is
and I
less
want to
of a
make
split- go ahead.
y'all watch a lot more than me, but that can also make you come off as combative. You get what I mean? If you're not coming as like a student trying to learn.
It's a delicate balance, but you
Yeah.
also don't want to come off as completely naive to
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
just like what he says is law.
For sure. Which is worse though.
No,
naive
I don't think
or,
you come off of that either because you know what I think it is? Piers Morgan said that Chris Rock told him this. And he mentioned it on the Breakfast Club interview, and then they also linked up a day later on Piers Morgan Unfiltered show or Uncensored show, and Charlamagne did have a better performance there. But like in the Breakfast Club performance, he was telling him that Chris Rock said you can't demonize people more than what they are, and you can't oversell and undersell people, pretty
Right.
much, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like
Because both extremes are equally dangerous.
both extremes are equally dangerous for the party trying to make the change, essentially.
right.
And it's like that's Charlamagne was still on that. You know what I'm saying? He was still on the let's over demonize, because you know what else I think it is? I think it's hard a lot of the times for people. But the only reason I don't cut Charlamagne this slack is because he presents himself as an objective. I haven't chose a side. So the only reason I'm not cutting him this slack is because of the way he presents his opinion. But I do think people have a hard time, you know, so if you strongly believe this, right? I strongly believe something. And if you just agree with it but quickly move on, you're like, I agree with that, and you quickly move on. That doesn't satisfy said person. Like,
Some
right?
people, a lot of people listen to respond and not to hear.
Correct.
So that's what you're saying with Charlamagne.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
it's like Piers Morgan would lay out these things and or just ask. There were several times in the interview he's asking basic questions that are yes and no, and Charlamagne's replying with a question, not an answer, which is always an L. And or he's saying, so if you took all these things away from Trump, blah, 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 how would you view that? And he's like, yeah, but what about the 97 convictions? He's like, yeah, bro, I think it's disgusting. I asked you a question though.
And
you know what I'm saying?
you know,
It's
that's
like-
that shit. And that's the thing, right? Because, you know, shout out to LOY. Tony be doing that shit. And it makes me want to.
Tony does that on,
doing what?
on me and Charlamagne
Be
debates
doing
too.
what?
But
Yeah.
just the.
I heard you say,
Like,
but
the-
yeah.
It's the answer to the question is either an analogy or a metaphor that changes the context of the
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
But overall, like 1 out of 10 for Charlamagne. Like, what y'all giving him?
I don't know.
You don't know what you're
1
giving
out
him?
of 10? Well, for which performance?
Like his performance on the Breakfast Club, because it's like his past
What do
ones.
you
like
get
I
for,
said,
what do you get for showing up?
you
where do
On
we
the
start
SAT?
at?
okay. Well,
Couple hundred points?
you bullshitting.
What do you get for showing up?
I might have to call you a fuck nigga for Charlamagne. But I get what you- it wasn't. But this is better
I'ma
than
tell
like
you-
his past interviews. You get what I mean? Like his
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna tell you
Well,
why it wasn't. And this is when
past recent.
this is when shit was lost, and I wish I had the timestamp in there. When Piers laid out his points, and mind you, they're talking openly, and Charlamagne just says, "I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about, but I got another question." It completely moves the subject completely, because he's like refuses to go down this level of open conversation, and that's the biggest thing I think that's the annoyance for me, is that at one point we would get objective or more objective Charlamagne, and it's the thing, it's like, you're the voice. You know, sometimes you get chosen for a position, right? Because I know he said things like that too, where it's like, look, I'm just somebody that's asking questions. I was putting it, it's like the political side of things was kind of put on you, right? But then you also know the importance of us, your target market, hearing them. But then during these conversations, you just give up and say, look, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Like, let's just move on. So you just like give up, you throw in the towel on a non-debate.
And that's what I was
That's
kind of
crazy.
asking. Like maybe he was playing like a character of Charlamagne. You know what I mean? Just a little sarcasm, a little like, yeah, but Piers, like, what about this? Like some nigga shit.
I don't
you get
know.
what I mean?
I think it's just as simple as there's opinions that are popular that feel good when you think about them with your first thought, that get exposed when you're sitting across from an expert. They can ask questions to poke holes in your logic. Like, if I ask you what was the premise for believing this, and you don't even have the thought process of how you got to that conclusion, there's no conversation. So I gotta avoid saying certain shit to you so I don't expose myself.
Yeah.
But not knowing anything.
Yeah, because if I say this, you're gonna ask me this question, and it's like, nigga, Reddit. I don't know.
Now the castle falls. It could
Black
be one of
Twitter
those
said
things.
This how
And
Black Twitter feel.
And that's
I don't think it's that really.
so. I get what
could
you're
be.
saying. So you're saying like, in a sense, like Charlamagne feels inferior, because that's an inferior mindset.
Yeah.
Like you're
Not
trying to
well, I think he knows that he's not a political genius.
inferior.
Well, I guess inferior.
In terms of that.
In terms of that,
And
yeah.
first,
But
political is Piers Morgan a political genius?
but it's a difference between being inferior and
not
feeling
genius,
inadequate.
but he's a commentator. So
Yeah.
But it's a difference between feeling inferior and feeling inadequate. Like, of course, he knows he's not as smart as them, but he still feels like he deserves to be able to ask the question.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In this conversation,
does.
we saw him not asking the questions.
Yeah,
we saw
well,
him not answering
bad
questions.
questions.
So it's like it's deeper. It's a deeper level than you don't know what's happening. It's I'm not willing to engage in this conversation with you. That's the biggest thing. So it's one thing
because you got nothing to defend it with. That's my point. Is that you?
I don't have to have it. I can talk to what's a field that I know nothing about, like anesthesiology, right? If I know nothing about it and you ask me a question, I can answer it. You can't ask me no anesthesiologist only question, but he's asking questions that are just surface level basic about the topic that we are both presenting that we know a little bit on. And even if we weren't, Piers in his questioning is setting up the question. All right, I'm gonna give you these facts. You know what I'm saying? It shows as well as this, like
politics,
the unwillingness to even engage in the conversation. This is another thing too, just overall, like when you're talking on a human level to somebody and y'all are back and forth asking questions and exchanging questions,
trying to understand.
It's disrespectful when somebody doesn't answer your question or answers your question with a question.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful in terms of conversation. And at that point you start losing a little bit of respect. Like, who the fuck am I talking? Am I having a real conversation?
Yeah.
Because at that point you're not trying to understand.
You're not even trying to understand. Like, yeah. So that at that point, that's when it gets to that. You know what I'm saying?
You're not even doing the fake.
You're not even doing the fake agreeing. And then there was a moment when he was like, all right, well, let me ask you a question. This is when I was like, oh, even as something as simple as this, you're willing to even open yourself up to this conversation. Piers asked him, how many people do you think Obama has sent back across the border? How many do you think he did that to? Nobody knew the answer. Genuinely, nothing completely wrong with that. He asked Envy, he asked Charlamagne. They're like, I don't know. I literally don't know. He said, oh, that's fine. Just give me a number. Like
anything.
Just give me a number. He's begging them to give him a number. These niggas won't give him a number for another 2 minutes, and they still refuse to do it.
Envy tried. He said something.
He was like, couple 100,000, and he was like, okay,
and
good.
then he was like, nah, $1 million.
And then he was like, Charlamagne, what's your number? He finally gave me a number after I had to fucking beg it out of his neck. Charlamagne still wouldn't give a number. I said, you won't even give a guess. Why can't you just say 10,000? Like, what's the problem? We're holding up this good conversation. Who cares if you feed into his point? You don't know the answer to his point anyway. Let him get his point across, hear his point, and then have the conversation.
Because he obviously has a punchline. He's setting it up for the misdirect.
And it's fine, but not even playing along in the conversation comes disingenuous. So
because especially when you know it's coming, and it's radio. Like, you got to play that. Like,
because then it becomes a game and not a conversation. Because now you're just trying not to be led instead of like,
let me hear you out. Have we ever asked? And by we, I mean
that was definitely
the world.
Ego. I don't even think it was. Piers didn't come off ego posturing at all.
I wouldn't say on his bad.
I didn't get any ego posturing on any level. It was like it felt like two people who respect each other, had conversations off there. Like, we know each other, so it's like. Hey,
just give a number for the fuck of it and be wrong.
Can we just give a number? But it was like.
But having the fear of looking bad to that degree, has got to be problematic.
Now the conversation is like diminished, and now you look kind of weird in this convo.
Has anybody ever asked Charlamagne, like, if he truly cares about politics, or if it's one of those things where, like, you know, you hit 45, like, you kind of have to care? You know what I mean? Like,
so I think
I've never seen,
be dealing with that, because
I've never seen anybody ask him like, how much do you really care? And that's why a lot of these political conversations, like, when your heart isn't in something, like, your logic kind of goes out the room, everything just starts to fall apart.
But the thing is,
you know what I mean?
This is all self-inflicted. Like, he's choosing to speak to these people.
But it's still...
Not necessarily either, but yes.
Like, who's being forced to go on the show?
Nobody's being forced because they have to green light everything.
Everybody has to green light everything.
But it's like,
to a certain degree, you want to talk to this person.
And during political season, you don't turn no political.
And you're not any person that goes on to host. What's the Daily Show with the rotating office? Like, you are interested in political atmosphere.
That's a fact.
And you're not,
at the bare minimum.
And it's one of those things where it's like Charlamagne is so successful, and like one of the curses is like, you're not successful until you're doing shit that you don't really want to do. It might not go against your moral code, like having your anal cavity open, but it could just be like, yo, Charlamagne, like, this is managed like Charlamagne, like, this political bag is getting crazy. You getting gray hairs and shit. Like, what's going on with that?
This is
like,
the transition.
Just have some bullshit opinion.
No. Look,
that's always the knock, though. That's like, that's almost not low-hanging fruit for the argument, but it's just like, that's the easy thing to assume. Like,
it's not always the easy thing to, but no.
But I'm just trying to come up with a.
You get what I'm saying?
You're trying to get the explanation of why you're moving like this.
Like, why
would you even conduct yourself like this?
If you do care, then
why can't
this
you just,
doesn't seem like you really
right.
If you
100%,
really care,
100%.
even because you don't even have to be right. I need to see the passion.
We're not having, and I don't see an open conversation on two sides. I don't see a equal back and forth.
Because when you really
combo.
care, both sides are trying to understand. And
At the end of the day, Pat.
Piers is so smart, and maybe Charlamagne knows this too, to where it's like you're not really changing his mind.
Yeah,
you're just giving him more facts that he didn't know.
It's just another perspective to think about it on. But to even do that, you have to have some type of pushback.
And politics,
you got to be able to rebuttal what he just said.
My bad. Politics is scary because it's like with everything you say, you have to have 3 facts with that shit. It doesn't matter what you say.
I feel that,
like at least 3 to 4 because the nigga's gonna try to counterattack that.
You gotta have some.
And then again,
bro,
it depends on who you talking to in certain situations. Because sometimes it's a little midget in the paint, and you can just go dunk on him because he don't even have the vocabulary to combat you.
I mean, you don't gotta pick on Bernie, nigga, but like, he a little, disabled and shit. But
there was a point in time when I did think that I never gave that school a thought. I'm getting older. I need to graduate into more mature content. I did think that about Adam 22 because he would say things that was like I'm 40 years old, and I'm just talking about like viral and like I service the lowest value of the internet, the lowest grade of the internet. Like I felt that on his side. I haven't felt that on Charlamagne's side. It could be a little bit of that though, because I feel like that's innate. That's innate on anybody.
It's innate on
part
anybody.
Of maturing in life.
Right.
And it's one of those things where like when you a quote unquote celebrity person, everything is always like just exuberated. What's the word?
Heightened.
Just heightened.
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
Exaggerated.
Exaggerated. So it's is exuberated a word? Can you please look that up?
It is.
It is.
And you kind of use it in the right context.
Okay, but
it was a little T.I.
He's fucking famous, so it's like And why not use that as another avenue for a bag?
Right.
Because it's not like you're lying to people. You just don't care about it as much as like
you verbalize.
You don't care about it as much as the platforms that you're going on.
But if that's the case, should he even be doing it? Because you got to think a lot of these people go into the platform because he has the ear of the young black audience.
Right.
So if you leading them astray, it's like.
And if you're giving us if we're getting lower value performance off of you,
conversation
off the area that we're going, like I'm gonna like.
It's a law of diminishing returns,
right? Even though I didn't know that they did a Piers Morgan thing, which I did watch next day, and just throw that out there again, he did do better on that because it seemed like your nigga needed to take a whole 24 hours to get his mind right to be like, oh, I can listen to a little bit of what he said.
He hit up some Wikipedia pages,
and add it to the conversation.
He wasn't driving the ship though,
but he wasn't driving the
ship, which is
either.
A whole nother aspect.
Right.
And Piers didn't frame it as I'm trying to attack you, you try to combat me, like style of questioning.
He had a liberal white bitch, some white dude in the middle.
I don't think it was framed like that at the Breakfast Club either.
I'm not saying that's how it was, but I'm just saying like it's even easier to get it off like that. When you're in a relaxed environment.
Right. But it was funny too because Charlamagne was displaying exactly what Chris Rock had told Piers Morgan: don't demonize him more than what you don't over and undersell, and that's what Charlamagne was doing. And I didn't answer your question. Sorry for disrespecting you because you did ask me a question about the rating and I never got back to you. I'm going 4 out of 10.
Oh, I ain't the reason
the reason I'm going 4 out of 10 is because at any point, if you're supposed to be having an open conversation, this is the next level of elevated conversation for all broadcasters, right? Even if it is, Piers Morgan has showed that he can talk about everything from political to
the manosphere
to fucking just pearly things, right? He can hold his own, have open conversations. It's you as that's another level of maturity in broadcasting, is being able to openly have these conversations with all levels of creators
in life,
right? And the fact
openly the operative word there.
Yeah, but the fact that in this conversation that's not combative at all, and it's completely open and friendly, and I haven't set a single trap for you because I'm friends with you. You just say, look, I don't care about nothing that you're talking about right now. Like, this is all I know. Let's move on to the next one. It's like, what the fuck are we doing right now? That's as a broadcaster that you throwing the towel in on this, on that. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Adam said to T-Rail, bro, you're a podcaster. You can't defend yourself with words.
Yeah.
That's different. They're combative. You know what I'm saying? This is just a conversation. You won't even open up and have a real conversation with me That's what you're known for. But
It also, it also leads me to believe that he's just the type of nigga that won't allow his mind to be changed, which is scary.
That's another thing too.
That's scary.
Yeah, potentially. And it seems like it's just based off not necessarily surface level things, but like the labels. Like what side of the party he's usually from. I have to disagree with this nigga because that's what my party says.
Yeah.
I used to feel like he was a little more open, and I don't know if it's just today, but it feels it's a little less open today.
It's definitely closing up
to the conversation.
You think Charlamagne like tries to be for black people? You think that's part of the problem?
Yeah,
like he's not just for black people. Like he's trying to remain like the image for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to appeal to niggas.
It's not as bad as Jonathan Majors.
Nobody's
doing it worse than that.
Nobody wants it more than him. Either.
He's a horny for this.
That's a different thing. Like
it's a
that nigga, he wants that. Man.
He wanted Coretta Scott. He needed.
He's got photo shoots for it specifically.
I don't even know how to answer that question. Can you ask it one more time?
Swear to God, I forgot.
Do you think Charlamagne wants to be for black people, right?
Is he trying too hard?
Saying, is that part of the problem?
Is that because I'm trying to think like.
Well, you think he needs to consider white?
I'm not thinking as a consumer. I'm thinking as a.
I'm white now, y'all.
Yeah, like.
Are you thinking like, is he leaning into the Dr. Umar?
I'm thinking as a nigga I'm thinking as a business, right? Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? And like, what's gonna always keep your business running is your bottom line. And if your bottom line is niggas, black people,
I see what you're saying.
You kind of have to play into Don Imus.
So you're saying, is he playing it like that, or is it truly his?
Is it because if it's
feeling
he's playing defense only? I think.
You know what it could be also, because even when Piers Morgan said he was like, you have the perspective in the ear of the young black culture, I think he might literally be reading Twitter just to express what's like black Twitter feels instead of maybe his own thoughts and opinions.
Charlamagne?
Yeah, Charlamagne.
But you know what's funny is like Charlamagne thinks that nobody has original thoughts and everybody goes online to form their thoughts. But he does come off like somebody that's read thoughts or heard thoughts from people that he respected and runs with their thoughts.
That's a fact.
I don't think he's claiming them as his though. As his.
Which is even crazier. It's just a vessel.
Yeah, but I think they kind of put that on him.
You call the nigga an empty soul.
But you haven't
I think mentally in his head, he's like, when I'm in front of all these politicians and these political leaders, I have to echo what these people feel. That's the whole reason they came to me.
Yeah.
And so in that, we might lose what he actually feel, but that's just kind of giving.
But that just answered the question.
It did, and that's that's also when I said he's only playing defense, is I think there's always the threat of losing everything. Not losing everything. I don't want to make it sound that extreme.
But it's
always looming, right? And it's like, think about how little of conversation you can have with somebody who's worried about their past coming up.
And think about
and possibly ruining a part of their future.
And there's a few themes and narratives you can't even touch, nigga.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Might trigger some memories.
That's what I'm saying. And then, so imagine I can't have this conversation with you in the red pill because that's only gonna dig up graves.
Yeah.
I can't have this conversation. I've been so vocally saying I'm center, shitting on Biden, also shitting on Trump, but I can't even have a conversation about the pros and cons of both either with you. It's like because I can't betray the ones who are supporting me.
Which is why I was about to say it's kind of the same dilemma that Donald Trump faces, to where he has a strong base that he always plays to, even though he could probably appeal to more people if he just kind of extended that bridge without a fear of losing that home base.
Yeah. Everybody kind of has that certain level, but that's what... But it's different.
The loyalty kills the curiosity.
Yes, it does.
You can't even really divulge into a true conversation and honestly come to your own conclusions.
Right.
Because you got to defend other talking points. Like, it happens on podcasts all the time. Like, he'll talk some shit about a nigga who's a legend that I don't love, but I got to defend because he's being abrasive about the nigga.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's weird because it's like, he's a businessman, so it's a completely different conversation.
Man, I'm a business man.
Like, he's not just Charlamagne anymore, so it's weird.
It's disappointing though. You know what I'm saying? That like this is natural elevation, and I want to see you have higher level conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if these are the areas that you're going to go into or be thrusted into, you would think it's just what the fuck, bro.
It's
You know
like
what
if you're
I'm
gonna
saying?
do it, at least have all the facts right?
No, don't even have all the facts. Have an open conversation. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a base level of open conversations. Know nothing, and that's fine. But when you're genuinely having a real conversation, you learn. And when you're genuinely having a conversation on both sides, you learn as well. So it's like, but when you're coming at it
in a combative way,
with one way, in a defensive way in this conversation, when I'm not even coming defensive, I'm like, this nigga's a piece of shit when he did this. I don't like, this is Piers. I don't like when Trump did that. I don't Trump like with that. This is a piece of shit move. All these things. So it's like, nigga, we shitting on the same people together, but you can't even have the open conversation. But he did do this. He did do this. These are all pluses. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I kind of want to see him step outside all these corporate platforms and try to have these conversations on his own accord. I don't know if it's going
when he's less connected.
Yes,
because like you
Black
gotta
and Mild.
think, like shit is happening on Breakfast Club, is happening on Piers Morgan show on Fox.
Right.
It's always on a public, fucking heavily televised production.
Like what you
It's
call
never
it?
just on his own accord. Where he has a YouTube channel, his own fucking solo podcast, where he can just really get it off.
Like what's
and
his
not
name?
have to play
Other
to a
people are
base.
doing it though.
Like what's his name? Stephen A.
why there's no excuse.
Like that's
Yeah.
why I fuck with Stephen A's YouTube, because it's a completely different energy. Like it's still professional,
Facts.
but it's like shit. We in there, like
It's late night
You
with
know what I
Stephen
mean?
A.
It's like late night. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, Charlamagne, he comes off like an old nigga that's not willing to make no change. And if that's the case, just say you don't want to make no damn change. Just come off like that. Like, don't say that you're one thing and then move in another thing. Because he's like, in terms of like an old nigga not willing or can even see change, he's displayed that not only on this political side, but even on Breakfast Club when not Breakfast Club, Brilliant Idiots, when the YouTube thing was a big debate on Brilliant Idiots, where it's like, YouTube is stupid, it's not a viable business. And it's like, nigga, you sit next to Schultz, who literally obliterates your arguments, the man that you sit next to every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're fighting this old nigga mindset, and we all see you fighting this shit.
It's almost like the programming is so strong with him is that in order for him to change his mind, it's going to take a lot of time and dedication.
Takes a lot of facts, bro. And then even if I lay everything in front of you, I still have to give you a week to kind of work through, and then I might get
see it for yourself.
I might get 25% more lenience with you in this next conversation than I did in the first one.
It's almost like you can't plant the seed. You just got to leave the seed around. And
Gotta leave it around,
finds its way
and
into
one
the
day
dirt.
he'll look at it and be like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that does make a little bit of sense now."
The thing is, he does change his tune eventually.
takes him a while,
always
though.
a reluctant process.
We have to wait for you to go through this.
That's because he's
an
gotten
expansion period.
to a point now where it's like he's no longer just the student or just the person who wants to learn the most. He's now the authority in his mind. So it's harder for him.
I was just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like when you have Piers Morgan telling you, Charlamagne, you're the voice for niggas. Like, how can you not kind of walk with a little chip on your shoulder, be a little defensive? Like, I'm not feeling like this white man, you know what I mean? Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
He just
so
said,
you're supposed to.
This generation is Malcolm X, essentially.
Yeah, like, nigga, you the voice of the streets.
He didn't put all
This
that
is Jonathan Major's wet dream.
Charlamagne.
He ain't giving that much gas.
Charlamagne, you are the voice of the culture. Was that British?
Nah, I don't know what
You are
that
the
was.
voice.
That
You are
was
the voice
something.
of the
I don't know
culture.
what it
It
was.
sounded like drag queen a little bit.
Wow. Took it far.
What's up with you in these?
Don't get started. Don't get started.
You
don't want to play that game. There's 4 hours of tape in the last 2 weeks. That's very
You're
damning
better than
for
that.
you.
You're not a hack.
Very damning for you.
It's better jokes than gay jokes, nigga.
Gay is in drag.
Nah,
yeah.
It's gay. I had to think about it. It's like,
But it isn't.
I had to let that simmer.
it's gay.
It's a fine line.
Shout out to all the drag members watching this.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a couple thousand, so we got everybody.
Yeah, we got
At least a couple delinquents, nigga.
Anybody could be a classmate, you know what I'm saying? Let's move over to the next thing though. No Jumper started another new show. We realized it during the recording of the last episode. But Brick Baby has his own show, No Statements.
No statements.
I watched it.
I forgot to.
I watched it.
You look thrilled. You enjoy yourself?
I think it has potential.
I was just about to say,
I think it's got potential for real.
didn't he interview somebody or
No, there was
He
him
was
and his
solo.
two co-hosts.
Oh, just two
Okay.
co-hosts?
Him and his two co-hosts.
Who
So
is
it-
co-host?
I'm glad you said that. Let's just run the beginning. I just thought the intro was good. Like
the vibe?
The energy.
The energy was great. Yeah. I thought the energy.
That's all it is.
And on top of that, it's like before we play this, I'm at the end. I watched the whole thing. Nigga. I was happy with it. You know what I'm saying?
You see, they can airbrush that on a T-shirt so easily.
They have a
that's
woman.
That's some Clubhouse shit they're listening to. Yup, they do.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, so at the very beginning, they introduced themselves, but it was good. And the reason, so it was a couple things that was good. These are Brick Babies people, number one. So
The chemistry is intact.
So I'm watching a different level of chemistry. Like, you know when he would get on screen with Crip Mac, it was always great chemistry because they really fuck with each other. Like, they went to jail together. You got like they had everything. You know what I'm saying? They had the Crip shit. They did jail time. Jail time is some real bonding type shit, you know?
You can't get closer to a man.
Yeah, literally. So this one was like two of his homies, his homegirl, his homeboy, don't know what their names are, but I just remember her intro being lit and that shit. The way she did her intro, it had me like, oh shit, nigga, I'm with this shit. Like, so yeah, let's just play it real quick.
Do it that way, or if you trying to, Hey, no statements, man.
Oh, man.
You did.
We live right now, baby.
We live and booted up.
We are
Two
live.
pills booted up.
Yeah, let's get it.
Episode number motherfucking 1.
Big
Listen.
Lady in the building.
This is No Jumper, the coolest podcast in the world, and I got my own show with my own people. You get what I'm saying? No statements, episode 1, man. I got young Barry Gordy to my left, man. YBG for the big old feet, man. It is just up, man. You know what I mean?
You know, it's just young Barry Gordy, and I'm very sporty on the punk bitch, man. You know,
Hey, man, it's the first 5 minutes, but you know, so go ahead.
you know,
Conscious too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a professional.
Hey, and we got
They
Big
ain't bleep it
Lady.
either.
Big Lady.
If you want this fade, come and get it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy to be here.
If you want
first
this
of all.
fade, come get it. That shit had me lit. I said, this is the show.
That's
This
because
is
you,
it.
you see Cashapp potential. That's what this is.
No.
It's just
It's great.
this.
And I feel you though.
We're comfortable. This is they're friends for real. Like,
Look at that smile. It's like you can't fake that shit.
bro, I really fuck with these people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it's like, I've seen Brick, I don't think he meshes as well with the other people in No Jumper, but when he can bring his people, like, there's a couple things that, one, I was like, oh, he's conscious. He knows what the cursing for 5 minutes. I like that.
Yeah.
He did at some point start eating chips on the mic. That shit was kind of crazy.
Little egregious.
So it's whatever. It's whatever.
Everybody
you know?
has a turnover every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's a
whatever.
game.
Outside of that, the concept of the show, I thought they held each other great, bro. So there's a moment when they're talking about Whack 100. They're listening to something on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know, Brick and Whack, they don't get along the best. And then they realize Whack is today, currently, talking about some shit that happened 3 years ago. So the nigga with the green pants, he said, this 3 years ago, why are we talking about this? Like, what the fuck is, the nigga was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then she was like, see, this is, y'all niggas be doing this shit. And then, or something like that. And he was like, I really wonder what the mindset of this nigga is. Here go Brick. You ain't never gonna know that. You ain't never gonna know that. Like,
So it's just a bunch of vibing going on.
it's a lot of
'Cause
vibing going on.
Once I saw her, you know, I know a ghetto bitch when I see one,
Right,
and I
right.
know when, the good ones. You
Yeah,
feel
right,
me? She
right.
seemed cool
Yeah.
as shit.
Bro, she's cool as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I like
She
her-
Hollywood.
I
Yeah.
liked her accountability. She said some shit that was real as fuck that really solidified. I think the name of the show being No Statements, she helped
Embodies it.
She helped embody it in this conversation they had in there because she said, a lot of you niggas, we grew up in the same neighborhoods and were taught the same rules from our gang. And from what I remember, the neighborhood stays the neighborhood and the public stays the public. You know what I mean? Like, we don't bring neighborhood issues to the microphone. But she said a lot of you niggas, and there's a lot of you niggas that bring the politics to the neighborhood. So anytime that they would kind of get carried away and Brick was the one that kind of get carried away, it should be like, no statements. Like what are we doing right now? Like,
It's a correction.
Yeah, like it would
Yeah.
be like correction, but it's from the homegirl and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
realest nigga in the room.
So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I said, because there was a couple moments when it was like, niggas got too excited and then somebody would throw out, but no statements. I said, yeah, I like this. Because
That's
if y'all
smooth.
are
That's
talking
smooth.
like, if y'all are talking hood politics, these are the people I want to hear the hood politics
She
from.
got balls.
yeah.
I want to hear it from people who are respected and reputable.
But there's got to be a safety
But
word. There's got to be some
there's a
rules of
safety word.
engagement. Yeah.
At some point, you have to stop. And she called out with this little moment. She called out like with a lot of these gangbangers, which is kind of which is like making an outsider, somebody not from LA, view a skewed look of what LA gang politics is because we see so many of them selling it on YouTube now.
It deglorifies it.
It devalues it.
Devalues
almost.
It's been commercialized to the point where it doesn't have the same lore or even credibility than it used to because it was a little bit more mysterious back in the day.
All we used to see on YouTube was fucking music videos with 100 niggas in all red or blue rags, and it was like, nigga, what's going on? Like,
but you want to know what it is?
You overstimulated.
Yeah.
That just means it was never cool to begin with. Like, we're just seeing how corny it was from the beginning. You get what I'm saying?
Like,
that's what it is.
That's what happens.
That's a part of it.
That's what happens when things go mainstream, though. The quality
also,
gets watered down.
It gets watered down, but a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it is just like, man, we seeing like, man, this shit was lame from the beginning. Like, this shit is not cool.
I think that does happen too.
You know what I mean? Especially
too.
when you see like Crip Mac. It's like, yo, what the this is what this shit is.
But honestly,
this is crippin'?
If you watch certain people like Nipsey, I followed him a lot. Everybody grows out of the neighborhood gangbanging because they all realize it's literally a crash course for disaster.
Your brain finishes developing at 25. That's when you start making sense.
There's certain people in that environment, and that's outside of LA gang politics. There's some niggas that are just jailbird niggas in Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? Like some niggas never grow out and some niggas do. The only thing is the bum nigga that we know that goes in and out of jail, he's not a part and lives in a region of commercialized gangbanging. That's like literally the only difference. But it's like it's all of them at some point realize I can't keep banging specifically.
Yeah.
It might take a few times. It might take a few smacks in the face, but eventually they get there.
But yeah, bro, it's I think this show does have potential because it was like they're touching on hood shit. Like if something does come up on like in the hood news, it's like, you know, some reputable sources. You know what I'm saying? And there's a self-accountability system built in. That's the name of the podcast.
And do they also, because, you know, they're from the quote unquote streets, do they have like an ethical balance with like, all right, like we're getting in a little too.
That's when no statements is.
That's when
it's the safe word for when things get too freaky.
That's when it gets too hot.
And this is also one of the hardest no jumper sets I've seen in a while. Does anybody else record with that background?
That's the store set.
Oh, that's the store set. Okay.
Yeah, so
I just don't recognize
they have because you don't see it there often. But the Lil D interview was in there.
Oh, okay.
So anytime you see it there, they're in the office. They're not in the studio. They're in the back of the storefront. Yeah.
No, that's hard though.
But yeah, I'm not mad at this show. I think it does have potential. It didn't feel like a drag. Like when I watched the new Monday show or whatever it was, Here We Go Again with 𝙿𝙾𝚃. Like that 2 hours, that 2.5 hours dragged for real for me. Like as a consumer, I just was just like, when does it end? You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching it as a premiere too.
Oh.
And it just felt like, so I couldn't see that.
So there was no time limit.
Yeah, I couldn't even see the end. And then it just felt like towards the end, like that last hour, it's like we can close the show. You know what I mean? It's okay, but an hour and a half is okay. Yeah, you don't have to drag this to 2.5. When
there was tip in the preserve.
Yeah, it was like I didn't like that.
Work.
This one didn't feel like that. I was doing things in between. I was doing things in between as well too. But it was like, you know, it's kind of different. You know, when I watch most of my podcasts on YouTube now because a lot of them have video components. But I'm still will have an audio experience by cleaning the house, walking around, and then depending on how good the conversation is, has me keep going back because I want to hear people's reactions.
You want to see some body language.
I want to see some body language. Like if the joke was funny, I laughed at the joke. Let me see the build up. You know what I mean? So yeah, pause. Yeah. So yeah, but I think this show does have potential.
Yeah.
This was like a clip that you put in there, I think.
It was a clip?
Yeah, there's like
perfect.
Yeah, I think I went back to the time frame that it was.
Okay, perfect. I was trying to describe this moment. This is the moment they're talking about Whack 100. This is how you know this is a decent show, I think.
Okay, 10-4.
I wonder what's in that.
Like 3 years ago, huh, Whack?
Oh, my mama. Me and Blueface was in there making that song that Offset on.
So they talking about
Bust
shit.
Down.
Wait, pause.
We made Bust Down that night.
They talking about some shit that happened 3 years ago, or is this current?
Did this
what are
just
we talking
happen?
about?
It's 3 years old.
This 3 years old, but
This nigga's eating.
Whack decided to just put this out, or how did this come out?
Hold on.
Who put
Why
this
are
out?
we talking about this?
This nigga is a gossiping ass nigga. I don't know if you cool with Whack, so I don't want to fuck you up with all
For
that.
real.
This nigga is a gossiping ass nigga though. That's what's going on. You bring up some shit 3 years old to put everybody beef. This nigga on federal probation once again. You get what I'm saying? Like what,
and saying situations that happened and transpired, all this other shit happened when this man got to have an image and hold an image saying that he don't be on this shit or not doing this shit. Like, come on, gang. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I wouldn't have paid this one no attention. I don't
This
really
is
got to
pure
hear no more. It's
emotion.
3 years
Yeah.
old.
If this shit 3 years old, if this didn't happen when Doug got out of jail, man, beat it. Beat feet.
Like
But
I
who-
hate that. Like
Beat feet.
when people bring up shit that's old, like I hate that shit. But it just depends on it. Like if you popping it, like was there a reason for this? Like was it brought up because like he was popping it, or it just like woke up
He
in the
just on
morning? and it was
Clubhouse
just-
feel like he
There's a lot of likes.
want to tell stories or something. I don't know.
Cause I'ma hold the tea until you fuck with me.
It ain't,
Whack just be
well,
releasing
ain't
the tea.
nobody fucking with Cuz. Cuz reached out for a feature or something and it didn't go that way, so he put out a story on Doug. Like, I don't get it.
I'm gonna look back into what was the origin, like what was the
He ain't gonna never tell you that. You'll never figure that one out. Dead homies. You're never gonna figure out why
Dead
he
homies.
did. That
He
shit
put
was
money
sitting
on
in
it.
the arsenal.
Put his
Yo,
You
homies
get what
on.
I'm saying?
That was the crunchiest piece of lettuce I've ever heard. He made that lettuce sound like cabbage.
Nigga, like Lay's potato chips.
Bruh,
nigga.
but the vibe though, it's like this is real conversation. They both ask, "What are we doing right now?" Like
Yeah.
at this
Why
point,
is this happening?
the fuck is
Yeah.
happening? Take that shit off the screen. Like
I'm
what are we
about to
doing
say,
right
get
now?
rid of this.
I was like,
It's
oh,
useless.
This is real. This is podcasting. This is real
Yeah.
shit. These are homies for real. Like, so I
Nah,
fuck with it.
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Imagine when they start telling stories.
Imagine when they really
Background
like
history.
get they vibe. You know, they had a solid start though.
Yeah.
He got Martin Luther King on his pants. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
So
that
they
shit.
had good energy like this the whole time. Like
Yeah.
they're asking, what is this goofy shit we're listening to? Like
Uh-huh.
legitimately, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's got some good potential, I think. And what's also, I think, good for No Jumper is that if they're sticking to these topics, it's gonna resonate more. Like Flocko will cover some hood shit, but we don't want to hear from Flocko on no hood shit. I'd rather hear from Brick Baby and his friends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Precisely.
You
But
know what I'm saying?
I want to see them. They also need to talk about like regular current events. You know,
I
whether
don't think they need to.
they need.
Well, I think when it's
they
relevant
need
to
to.
them, they do too, or when it's relevant to their interests.
I'm not
It
saying.
also depends on how often they drop. Like, is this a weekly podcast?
Probably weekly, yeah, probably
And
weekly.
I get. It might not have to be a thing that they double down on.
Yeah.
But as far as the muscle, you know what I mean, talking outside of what you're
Yeah,
comfortable,
I think-
and
yeah,
just
true.
in general, like they don't want to put themselves in this box now.
True.
You get what I mean? Like not right
I
now.
think it's inevitable to not cover current events, but it's also important to keep in mind when you're in a media house that's trying
Your
to
market.
move to 5 days a week, not having copy and paste content.
Exactly.
Or topics.
And you gotta
That's
even,
the hardest thing I think that makes a weekly show thing. It's like we have 3 shows
with different textures.
with different textures. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, their shits run together. That's the
Yeah.
Fig Community issue.
And it is hard
It
to
doesn't
do.
matter where you go in Fig Community
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
They're covering the same shit.
and
The food tastes the same.
Some topics
Yeah.
are so big that everybody's probably gonna cover it. So like that's
It's
a given.
inevitable. Like we've
But-
had stuff on 3 Oak that y'all cover on
or
LOY,
LOY,
but
it's always different perspective.
the
different,
people are different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a different
yeah.
way.
But
of
it is harder
communicating.
when they're different shows because everybody wants to get their point off on said topic. When it's the same group of people doing multiple shows,
Talking
it's
about
like we've
the
already
same topic.
it's like we've already talked
Talking
about
about the same topic.
We're
Yeah.
able to move on type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's why it's like
That's a problem that shows be facing where you got to go from flagrant to brilliant idiots and talk about the same thing.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, that's true. But I know they nestled in when it's in its inception. Remember, it was sports in its inception, which
yeah.
is
It damn sure
Yeah,
was.
the
which is
original,
which
yeah.
is so crazy to
It
like
damn sure
think
was.
about. Like that shit was really like flagrant sports takes.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
And that was
with a
when
little pop culture twang to
with,
it. And
exactly with
some
Kaz
of the
on there
tangents.
still and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
So
Kaz was like, y'all niggas too wild for me.
yeah, it was kind of crazy. No, I think he had some
He had some
Other
other shit happen.
occupations.
he had some
Yes,
really
yeah.
family shit, which I still don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but it was obvious that we're all respecting the fact that he had a family thing that he had to step away and take care of.
Some
You know what I'm saying?
situations to go
Right,
on.
yeah. But
Whenever a nigga bring up his family, you can't really ask too many questions.
And you don't-
You just gotta
you-
give him the benefit of the doubt.
as
You
a
just put your
real
hands
friend,
up and
yeah.
shrug your shoulders.
I understand. You
All
reach
praise
out to
to
me
Allah.
when you're
Facts.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever your
yeah.
daughter's not
Yeah.
daughtering.
But yeah, I think this is a good one. That's pretty much all I have for that.
Yeah, shout out Brick Baby, man. I'm glad this nigga is trying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, you
he-
can't hate a nigga that's trying.
He's hungry at
And
least.
that's why I want him to at least try to do other different shit.
Yeah.
You get me? Talk about some different shit.
If he can create him a nice little hit show here, I think that just the news format on No Jumper, no stars can be risen. I take that back. A star could rise out of No Jumper news, but I think the odds of it are very low.
Nah, I think
because so little people value it.
Because of the talent or the exposure?
Because the exposure and the talent. Like,
nah, man.
Like, so little things come out of that. Like,
I think both are good.
I think it's undervalued as fuck, like, in the market.
I think they're both good. It's just the product. You know what I mean? They got to tighten up the product. You know, maybe they're stepping on it too much. But
they are.
I think Brick Baby, he just got to be a little bit more out there. Like, I feel like he could. I feel like he's already kind of holding no jumper.
I was about to say he's very capable of it, and I think he has a higher ceiling than most people that like a sharp.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
I think the ceiling is higher.
It's literally just going to take him not smoking before 12 p.m. Like some shit like that.
You're not allowed to. I don't think you can ask that of him.
But you get the.
I get what you're saying.
But that's what it is.
What makes him great though?
I think that's what makes him great. I think
not smoking 2 before 12. But niggas had the same problem. But it's one of those things.
Would y'all feel this way if No Jumper had his original cast and he was added to that original cast? Like, do you think
with those people? So yeah.
Okay, so you think he's as good as they would have been or they are?
Everybody would have made everybody better, or at least it would have kept everybody progressing.
Essentially, I'm asking if y'all feel this way because of the talent you're weighing them against, or if you feel this way legitimately about him and what he's done.
For me, it's about him.
Okay. I always found Brick Baby entertaining. So before he became regular, it's really hard when you see somebody a lot. Like, No Jumper News whores out all personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of the biggest issues with No Jumper News.
It's a trick.
Is that it literally will whore out people who could be top guest, right? So when Brick Baby used to just pop up there for regular interviews, those shits were amazing because it was like, I don't know who this nigga is. He's only got an hour and a half to 2 hours. He's filled full of stories.
Right.
But after I see you 5 days a week, 1 year straight, there's no more new stories.
The material gets watered down.
Or the amount of stories is real limited now.
Yeah. Especially, if you're not progressing at the level.
It forces you to really improve and find new ways of being entertained.
And if you're not at that level, it shows even more.
It shows if you don't do it. Yeah,
and then you got niggas like us on these couches talking about some. They're not trying this shit.
Exactly.
On these shitty couches.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't run a mile with no stamina, nigga. You gonna be huffing and puffing, and that's very visible.
So that's just why I think that's my biggest. That might be my biggest gripe with No Jumper News is it just whores out the personalities too much.
Sluts.
It just sluts them out, man. Yeah, I don't like that shit, bro. And it's
Please watch Hello for that.
Especially ones that aren't actively progressing in their skill talent. Now, if you're actively getting better, I can do 5. All of us could do 5 days a week. Yeah. And we could rise. We can make the No Jumper News the hottest thing on the block within a month easily. Because we do this. But
you think it'll take it that long?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You
would be modest.
We're going viral. Let's keep it real. I went there. I was in the building for 3 hours and I came home. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take long. Like, if I had a 5-day work week, nigga,
you wasn't even comfortable.
Wasn't even comfortable, nigga. This is my first day. Like,
did you even get to pick your seat, or Flocka was just so excited to have you?
Everything was directed, nigga. I have no dog in this fight. I'm pulling up with ice cream and treats, nigga.
They calling you sweet.
You
just trying to be nice and shit.
I'm just trying to be polite, nigga.
You had to call him.
Nigga, let's go viral then,
and that
nigga.
sound like some LA shit. Like, yo, I got some ice cream. Like, it's sunny and shit.
Right, So, it wouldn't even take us a month, bro. Within 2 weeks, niggas will be like, who are these niggas at No Jumper? It'd be too easy, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of you niggas, don't forget, we still got regular jobs. Like,
right.
There's a 9 to 5 in this diet still, but that's soon to get cut out.
Yeah, but
4 9 to 5, nigga.
Yeah, for real. But shout out to Brick Baby. Just be more of an extrovert, and he'll definitely have no jumper on his back.
I don't even think we get. I think this is him.
I think he got it in that sense. You just got to remain consistent. He's in his professional.
He's in his final form.
Nah, of course not. He's not in his final form, but
well,
that comes with time.
Yeah, we
and
saying
the reps.
same shit. Man, reps, and it's all about the mentality. You get what I mean?
I had to believe in him, obviously.
Yeah. Let's go to this next one. I haven't watched this video at all, but I did see on Chick's page. Kevin Hart put a restraining order on Tasha K, so we can just click this and watch this all together.
Tasha
K got this. What is happening? That Kevin Hart had to put a fucking restraining order up.
Where does she live?
You know what? I don't know.
Probably Florida.
Like, how are they so? Why are they in
Atlanta
close
or Florida?
proximity?
I feel like she is from Florida. I can't remember.
Does a restraining order count for like YouTube videos too?
That I don't know. They might have something like that.
A digital restraining order, like you can't follow me on Instagram,
or you can't talk about me or something.
It
like
might.
that.
It's 2024, so all digital
they gotta have some
platforms
sort of
have to
digital.
be
There's got to be
integrated
some sort of digital law
within the contract.
It's like a gag for your name.
Especially because I have an open case on you right now.
So
So maybe during the time, maybe it's like a restraining order until we close our case.
Yeah.
No content on this person.
Or even as simple as your lawyer advising you to shut the fuck up. So
But
you
what
don't.
if I hope in this video we learn that she's like pulling up on the nigga and harassing him with emails. That's what I hope.
But that's because you love
my
dysfunction.
I hope it's more real harassment than online.
with her
But
Stedman.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
That's hilarious, nigga.
Hey man, we gotta figure out exactly what Tasha K knows that we don't know. There's no way that somebody who's facing multiple lawsuits, somebody who already has to pay back millions to Cardi B, is still moving this reckless.
Yeah,
now,
she was
last month,
shameless.
Kevin Hart filed a lawsuit against Tasha K. He claims Tasha K was trying to extort him for $250K. Now, this all had to do with the interview that Tasha K did with Kevin Hart's ex-assistant. Now, in this interview, the assistant was pretty much exposing Kevin Hart, claiming that he's still cheating on his wife. He's got a gambling addiction. Not only that, but apparently he paid somebody off after getting a DUI. Now, of course, these things are all alleged. These are all things that can possibly ruin his public image. Now, interesting enough, the same day Kevin Hart filed the lawsuit, Tasha K went ahead and put the whole interview behind a paywall. But as of yesterday, Kevin Hart asked the court to grant him a restraining order that would force Tasha K to take down the video of their interview that she did with the assistant, which he alleged was full of defamatory claims. Now, this is a statement Kevin Hart wrote to the judge. He said, "Working in the entertainment industry, my livelihood depends in large part on my reputation and the public's perception of me. That perception is of particular concern in light of the fact that I am involved in a number of family-oriented projects, such as the Jumanji franchise, Fatherhood, Captain Underpants, The Secret Life of Pets, and others. I also endorse various national brands, and those endorsement deals depend in part on the public perception of my reputation, respectability, and character." Now, Kevin Hart goes on to say, "After my refusal to pay, the interview was published. After its publication, I watched the interview and saw that in addition to discussing private matters in breach of the NDA, Shakes, which is the assistant, made statements about me that were simply false, including that I supposedly made a secret video recording of a sexual encounter and faced criminal charges regarding that supposed incident. I did not record any such video, and I have never faced criminal charges in connection with that alleged incident or any related matters." Now, whether or not what the assistant said about Kevin was true or not, Kevin does not want to lose any of the deals he has in place. The guy works with over 50 different brands, and to be honest with you guys, if they haven't dropped him by now after some of these clips came out, they're probably never going to drop him. But the more attention you give to Tasha K, the more light you're going to bring to the interview and make people really make it go viral. As of right now, the interview is still up on Tasha K's website. Doesn't look like she cares much about any legal action that Kevin Hart is taking. But personally, if I still owe somebody close to $4 million, I'm definitely going to be treading lightly. You guys get in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think about this, man. Does Tasha K have a personal gripe against Kevin Hart? Or is this just par for the course for Tasha K? Post comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video.
I was just thinking, thank you, Chicks. God damn. Shout out to Chick. I feel like we haven't mentioned this nigga in a minute, but overall, I was literally just about to say that, like, he's still a comedian, and within certain fields, you can move a little, like, you have a little bit more range. Like a comedian being a gambling addict is like a fish drinking water, nigga.
Yeah. I think
or maybe cheating on your bitch, like, nigga, you on the road. Like, what's...
Yeah, he's not running for political office.
None of the allegations were that wild.
Yeah.
But,
like,
but that's how much...
But he's fighting for that much of a clean image.
Everything his ex-assistant, allegedly, in my opinion, I think is probably true.
Yeah.
But once you get to this level, you kind of... Maybe he might be... I don't want to put this out there, but he might be an egomaniac. You know what I'm saying?
Little Napoleon complex.
So it's like, what the fuck? Like, this bitch is just saying shit about me. You know what I mean? That might not even ever get talked about. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, gambling addict. Like,
I mean, but Disney cares. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, true.
Like, this is gonna ruin my livelihood and ability to make money.
Yes,
which is obviously his bottom line.
And
because you know
it's clean cut.
This nigga owns Jumanji, bro. Like Kevin Hart can't say nigga no more.
That's a family man for real.
Like, it's over. He turned in his N-word pass. He gave it to Gary Owens.
But it's one of those. I feel like Kevin Hart that's what makes him special, is that like he can do that. You know what I'm saying?
He could if he leaned into that I'm a comedian the most, but he doesn't do that. Like,
doesn't do that.
I get what you're saying. Like, as a comedian, he would have those extra, just like how 50 Cent, like,
and I don't even want to
50
say
Cent
comedian,
said,
but just Kevin. Like, I feel like him, like he has that special power to where like
I don't think he does.
He could still
The
be a
special
degenerate.
power. The special power to do what specifically?
He could
get away
still
with
like
more
be a
things.
little degenerate, and you know, still have some Disney, still have some fabuletics. Isn't
But the
that
thing
his,
is, I think he doesn't want to further build his case because he already has a
Exactly.
few stripes against him in terms of Hollywood,
Yeah.
like the whole tweet about the dollhouse with his kid. I
was
think
so
he
lame.
doesn't want to add to that resume of, nigga, you might be a fucked up person.
It's kind of like the same thing Charlamagne's doing. It's like where you don't want to add to anything that you don't want to build on anything from the past.
You won't put no fuel
But
to the
as
fire.
but like no, you were right in saying
Charlamagne's
as a
past a little bit
comedian
more.
you have the right to do more things. Like 50 Cent used to always say that. 50 Cent would say, I get away with more even though I'm a successful ass businessman because I'm a rapper. And I remind people all the time that I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
So when I say something like, yo, tell that person, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That was the rapper speaking. Curtis Jackson still signed a deal with Stars for 100-something million.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Same with Snoop Dogg. He can
same
smoke
with
as
Snoop
many
Dogg.
blunts
It's
as he
like-
want on the set
but
of
they
CNN.
exercise their star power and their previous field.
and the alter ego. You got to exercise the
Right.
alter
They
ego.
exercise that. But Kevin and them, they don't exercise that shit at all. It's almost like
Kevin doesn't.
Kevin doesn't at all. I'm closing this door, period. And I'm only going to open it when I feel like it. And that's going on tour.
Whenever and it's
as a comedian.
on some like egomaniac shit, like when I want it.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much, yeah.
You know,
I think all these niggas
Is that
are
better than
It's
being
everybody-
whored out though?
yeah,
And not
thank
doing
you.
things on your own
Thank you.
accord?
I do want to say this. It's he's not wrong for trying to shut this bitch up, and the bitch
Me
being
neither,
Tasha K.
especially when you got
Of
that
course
bread.
not. Especially if it's true.
Especially because it's like you fucking up the money,
Yeah.
and then all it takes is the video getting like 500,000 views, and
So,
then
what's
it's
up?
like it's up.
But yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
because he hasn't been fired from anything, that was a good point Chiz brought up. It's like,
I was literally
Literally
You might be a little over paranoid just given
Right.
what you know
But-
is possible.
but
Yeah.
that's when you know
Preventative
it might be a whole different level of conversation. Like
what the fuck is Tasha K's end game?
That's what I was just about to bring up because it's like
nigga, the truth.
it can't be the truth.
Yes,
I
it
don't
can
think
be.
she believes wholeheartedly in majority of this shit. I think it's almost on like
It's the story and
like
the truth.
I'm not saying she does drugs, but it's kind of like crackhead decision making to where it's like,
Bruh,
I
for
don't
real.
care if this is real or true. This is
Yeah.
happening right now.
Yeah,
and let
bruh.
me live in the moment.
Yeah, dog. And then it's
Interview
all,
this bitch that could be lying and breaking NDAs.
and on top of that, just like her
not her
alone, bruh, she has priors. Like, she's a nigga that's convicted of robberies already. You know what I'm saying? And she's just out here committing robberies, it seems like, still openly
With no mask.
with no mask, not giving a fuck. And it's just like, don't you know you lost defamation already? Why do you keep playing with these niggas?
Trying to rob niggas' reputation.
Yeah, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
like every time if he goes, when they go to court, the niggas are just gonna pull up what she did to Cardi B and be like,
Yeah.
There's
you haven't
precedence.
learned nothing.
Yeah.
And then if somebody else sues after Kevin Hart, they're gonna pull up, and if Kevin Hart wins, they're gonna pull up Cardi B and Kevin Hart and be like, ma'am, do you just not care? This like what's going
And-
on, man?
and
She
another
just don't
big
like
thing-
spending her own money.
Yeah.
She want to
And-
owe somebody for the rest of her life.
That's what it
essentially.
seemed like.
And I don't. I need to read more about this, the specifics of the case. But it's really the assistant who's really getting like the
She's
big
more of
hand,
a-
like the
she's
real
more of an
backhand.
issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. for
Tasha,
sure.
I feel like she.
She's liable
could-
to a degree.
She's liable to a
but
degree.
a lot of the burn is coming.
A lot
on
of
that
the burn is
assistant,
going
'cause
to
she
that.
broke
The
a,
assistant,
she
for
broke
sure.
a non-disclosure agreement.
And that's
For sure.
something. I mean, unless the assistant told Tasha beforehand,
Yeah.
she could definitely get punished a little bit more. But all in all, it's like, hey, bitch, you said it. Like,
You're right. Yeah,
you know.
there's definitely a lot of that in
But
there.
due
yeah.
to her priors, it's like, how
why
can the
flirt?
judge not look at that shit?
It's like when you're a convicted felon, you still want to hang out with felons, even though you're not allowed to, because you're on probation. But you still like to chill with felons and shit.
You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of just crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I feel like some of the smoke people be having for Vlad could really go to Tasha K because it's like, I mean, who's really being
But
disingenuous?
she's not as big as Vlad either, though.
Yeah, she's not as big,
So
but
it's
it,
like-
And she's black.
but she might be equally. I want to say equally as damaging because you know that's debatable on Vlad's case, but
because of his platform. is so
because
much
of his
bigger, for
platform,
sure.
but it's still damaging nonetheless.
yeah, true.
And Vlad, it's weird. Vlad is able to do everything Tasha's doing, just not get sued for it.
Right,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
true.
Like
It's
and
calculated.
Well, he does it to where he can't get sued. I think.
Like,
Yeah,
literally.
that's what I'm saying. It's
He-
calculated. There's a strategy in the
consistently-
playbook to this.
Yeah, he makes sure he puts himself in a better position than the average.
You get what I mean? To where
But
if
yeah,
he does get sued, it's like, all right, I'll pay it. You
But
know?
yeah, I cannot understand, and I don't understand what her end game is at this point. And y'all know how I am. Fuck it, let's crash out.
Yeah, I feel like if you with this mentality, she probably like what are her hobbies? Like she probably into wall climbing with no harness and shit. Like
I wonder what her.
she's too used to risk.
She definitely likes extremes.
She's too used to risking it all.
Yeah.
I wonder what her Telegram look like.
Her Telegram like group community or something
Nigga,
like
it's
that.
probably so much.
It's probably
nigga.
a lot of white people.
It's
It's probably
probably
more white people than you would imagine.
It's probably just smut and
Nigga,
filth.
we don't know. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that
it's
shit
disgusting
could.
probably in there.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Tasha K. I mean, if you get sued by like another person this year, then I'm just gonna assume.
How much y'all want to bet?
I think that's high.
You think it's 2 more people or just one?
I think at least one. 2 is a lot.
I think she's like the Joker.
Okay, look, if 2 people do it, then I'm gonna also think conspiracy that everybody important in the industry got together and they're like, let's just get her out the paint forever.
And
like
that
let's
might-
all just like sue her.
And that
which
might
is-
be her redemption story because in that process, I feel like it's something about her when I look at her face. It feels like she's got some air of like luck to where
She's got
this
something
shit
up her
might
sleeve
all
still.
work out in the end, and it's not on
Yeah,
purpose, but it's some type of controlled chaos.
Maybe she's doing this long play of fighting for the First Amendment. Who knows?
Bro,
Or like she might be able to sue somebody for defamation and win all her money back, like just
And then
a
be-
miraculous
and
movie
then-
climax.
and plus some.
Yeah,
or it's just like when you're a journalist, like the back end.
Yeah.
Like she's focused on the back end truth. Like
Yeah.
in 20 years, y'all gonna find out I wasn't lying. I got sued for no reason.
Maybe,
I don't even
yeah.
want the money, but it's just something to post on Instagram.
The long
like
game
how
truth,
like
yeah.
y'all see this shit.
Tasha K
Right.
gonna go on Club Shay Shay in about 4 years and do 62 million.
Now that'd be interesting if she goes on Club Shay Shay.
That would be insane.
That would be insane as fuck.
Shannon would have to get sued just by having her on. Like
Shannon would
he
need a
wouldn't even-
heart monitor for
he
all
wouldn't-
this stress that he's gonna be.
He wouldn't even
dealing
do it to himself. It would just be so chopped up and edited, I think.
Yeah.
I think he would just like, the editors would go through and take all the alleged shit out and just, let's not even play with it and just like, it.
and Tasha,
She'd probably go
Tasha's
viral
smart.
just complaining because
This-
he chopped it so much.
this
He'll
is
have a
another
lawyer
thing.
sitting right beside him
For
drinking
sure.
alcohol.
And this is
a lawyer
another.
sitting next to the editor.
Tasha's smart as shit. Like she's a past criminal.
Smart
she's
as
done.
shit.
Yeah, she's smart.
Smart as shit.
She's smart.
Smart as shit is.
She
I
might
don't
be
know.
cunning, but smart as shit.
Yeah, I don't know
She's smart.
anybody. Yeah, that's,
Anybody that
it's
ends up in
hard
this
to put that on
predicament,
anybody.
yeah, nah, you can't say that they're smart as
It's
shit.
plenty of people that are in bad situations that aren't dumb. You get what I'm saying?
Stephen
and
Hawking?
it's one of those things to where her career, it calls for that. Like it calls for that. Like I'm standing on it. I don't give a fuck what I look like.
I don't know. There's
It-
plenty of people in the same game as her that don't have the same circumstance.
Who?
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody else.
I'm
Everybody
glad you named them.
Like literally everybody else.
Nobody
Who
else
else is getting sued
Yeah,
like
nobody.
Tasha K?
Literally, nobody's getting
Who
defamation.
else?
This is not happening.
And this is another question. It's kind of facetious, but like, who else is looking for the story like Tasha? Nah, it's facetious, but
Vlad
There's plenty of people looking for the story.
Vlad is looking for. Yeah,
Vlad be looking for them
Shit,
goddamn stories.
TMZ.
Vlad's looking for the story.
Yeah.
This is a couple platforms, nigga, and they don't have any of the litigation or the legal problems that she's facing.
Vlad is really the only real one, though, if we being honest.
Nigga,
But
Vlad is helping the justice system.
You're right.
I do pray for Tasha K. I pray for her husband.
Right.
He's probably
I
going
pray.
to fight
I pray.
a lot of people.
I pray. I pray he fixes himself so that he can fix her. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Because it starts from the top.
So you blaming him for all these lawsuits suddenly?
I mean,
You know what's crazy is her lawsuit would go away if she just like took the video down, but she won't even take the video down.
Which begs the question.
It's the same thing that happened with Cardi B. It started with videos going up that she refused to take down, and then when she did take them down, she put them back up.
and
So it's like
She couldn't help herself. It's almost
yeah, it's like she can't help herself.
It's like an addiction.
because
Yeah.
it's the truth.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
so-
saying? It's the truth.
to her, we don't know it. Obviously, it wasn't the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she lost the goddamn
It's the
suit.
truth to her.
Even if it's
Yeah.
not the truth, it's her art.
You get what I mean? Like
She might have a
think she's
certain
more
kind
her-
of sore.
Her and the Cardi thing was all ego, but her ego
Well, yeah.
lost her $4 million.
And imagine, like, let's say all these things are true, all the things she ever talked about. Imagine knowing that, and like the idea of you like knowing that this could get me sued, Like this can make me lose my house.
Yeah.
But it's like it's some real shit.
Fuck it.
It's a double-edged sword. Shout out to Tasha K. She is always in the news for the wrong reason.
It's
though.
a serrated
She
sword.
literally is always in the news for the wrong reason.
She
but
make
hey,
black women look.
It's her fault.
Sheesh.
Don't put her on all black women.
All right. Last thing I have. This isn't even. I don't even know how long this is gonna last. Joe Budden went on Twitter Spaces with Danny and them. In fact, you can pull that Danny video up. I think it's his most recent one. He pretty much told everybody that Dr. Umar Johnson episode will never be on YouTube
For free.
forever, ever. And it was funny because he like mocked Danny a little bit. When they were talking about it, they were like, "Why not?" And he was like, "Yeah, Danny, that's." He was like, "That's gonna be a short video." He was like, "Joe Budden says he'll never release it. Video ends." You know, but Danny's a true content creator. He stretched that bitch to 9 minutes still.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
he had to.
yeah. So
Nah, man. I mean, shit. If anybody in the comments is thinking he's wrong, then y'all are gonna think we wrong in the future. Dog. It's definitely gonna be some content that's never gonna be posted on YouTube for us.
yeah, there's no reason for it. I mean, it makes complete sense that some never makes it until or for a very long time, like forever,
Like,
maybe not.
That's the whole point of exclusive content is that
That's the
this
whole
is just
point.
for me.
I forgot.
Yeah.
It was this one UFC fight that I just watched last night. That shit was from 2 years ago, but I remember when it was happening live. Hey,
Get your ass out.
see, that's a real snap. But when it was happening live, but yeah, exclusive content. That's the whole point. You release it like 2 years later.
Yeah.
You know, like
or never at all.
like
Or never. Yeah, literally
like
never.
that's also an
It,
option.
nigga,
Yeah.
this shit is like real estate. Like, you know what I mean? You
I
buy
give these
it.
properties when I feel. I do with it when I want to.
Exactly.
Literally,
Yeah,
this,
literally.
this shit's mine.
I might slut it out, might rent it out, have somebody
Yeah.
else spin it. But yeah, shout out to Danny.
Joe Budden says he's not releasing the Umar Johnson interview on YouTube.
No, YouTube's not getting Umar. I can tell you that right now. Not at all. Nicki had an album coming out, so you want to get on YouTube. Umar ain't got no album coming out.
Why is it not going out on YouTube?
Because I said so.
Is it a money thing, like just to maximize the Patreon, or he said some crazy stuff?
No, it's really just because I said so. There's no other reason. There's no science to do. They could be mad when he can't do no science, but God dang. That video will be short. And this happened because Joe said so, and that's that.
Although it's never because someone said
No
so.
narrative.
That's right. On a recent
nigga
Twitter
Danny?
space,
He
Joe
said
Budden
it's never because someone said so.
It's never because someone said so. AKA Ian had to sign off on that shit too, nigga.
That is funny. Yeah, this nigga Danny.
Hey.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, I don't know.
So then, like, so far, I stopped watching the video because Danny was just kind of giving him suggestions on how to promote the Patreon, which is like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Danny's,
saying?
Danny's giving Joe advice.
Pretty much, yeah. He was pretty much
Shout
like,
out my nigga, man.
yeah. He's pretty much like, maybe he should do like other people where they'll put a snippet on there, but it's like,
Yeah.
the nigga gonna do what the nigga gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's who cares? You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to
Danny
no
be overthinking this Joe Budden shit sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not taking this advice from somebody, you know, when I hold the keys to it at the end of the day.
And this could, you know, knowing Joe, he a little, you know, he like to sell some snake oil every now and then. So this could be like a switcheroo 6 months from now.
Control the juice.
You
know
get what I'm saying?
Go ahead, watch that. It's right up there in the corner.
Yeah.
Can you timestamp that area so I can put it in there?
Literally.
Control the juice episode.
And I don't know, man. I definitely don't think it should ever reach YouTube just because it's like I have the same ideology. It's like, shit, you can't have everything.
Right.
Yeah, nah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's the point of paying for it? That's just it's as simple as that.
Like, if you have to pay for the Super Bowl, why not?
That's why with Andrew Schultz's special, when he put it on the website for purchase, and then 2 weeks later it was on YouTube, a lot of niggas that bought it was like, yo, what the fuck was the point of that?
They was pissed about that. It was kind of it's a low level rug pull.
He wanted
It's a little bit because
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment of like you see a bunch of stand-up specials on Netflix that ain't getting no buzz because like it's saturated. There's so many of them happening. There's no real initiative.
And that's one of those.
You kind of want to create that sense of urgency, but like nigga, you blew that bubble in 2 weeks.
He blew it too soon. Because that's the
Too
thing.
soon.
I'm fine if it comes out 3-4 months later or 6 months later.
I would say
I would say 6.
5?
6.
At 6. No, it's your special, nigga.
6 months.
6.
6.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
and I as the buyer don't feel as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like if I bought
Exactly.
it, I don't feel as bad. But 2 weeks, I'm kind of pissed.
How long do movies usually take, like from going into theaters to getting on the streaming platform?
It's based on how
it depends on
no.
the movie because with HBO Max is a little quicker for them DC
and
films.
it's different, and it's different steps. Like it's the movie, it's the platform, and then it's waiting for it to hit B like HD. That's a whole nother process. So like nigga, that's like a 3 or 4 month process.
I think it should have the same lifespan as cinema.
Because it might hit,
that's a working formula.
It might hit the platform, but it's all you see niggas walking through the screen, eating popcorn.
Treat that shit like it was actually in theaters for a couple months.
But
then it was on Blu-ray, DVD.
Oh my God! I just realized what you said. Waiting for it to be HD. You're talking about on the free movie sites.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the real process. The movie comes out in theater. If it flops, it'd be on the streaming service pretty quickly.
Literally,
within like a month, it'd be on the streaming service. But if it does good, it still be like
they'll milk out. They're trying to go get the DVD.
It depends on the.
what they
it depends
do
on
is
the company.
It goes to TV first, so like it'll be available on demand.
FX.
Or you can rent it or something like that.
Yeah,
But
or
it's
you
like
can rent
rentable, and then
for like $2.99.
Yeah,
or
and then it goes to whatever.
But
streaming
honestly,
service it ends up.
nowadays it depends on the platform, bro. Because I've been on my Xbox and I'm like, damn, I could buy this shit. Like, it should just drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends on the movie and the platform.
And
really.
however,
It'd be some
often.
exclusive
the whole thing is set
distributing
up.
deals.
You get what
How
I
it's
mean?
set up, pretty much. Yeah.
Certain things go straight to certain markets.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, man, it is strange. And the fact that it's on every tier, it's not so bad.
No, part 1 is on one tier, and then part 2 is on a higher tier.
Word?
On the Umar shit.
Oh,
I like that too.
Yeah, that's
you
how it is.
slimy
That is
sucker.
that's insane, right?
That's not insane.
Not insane, but that is kind of like, well, goddamn.
It could at some point. It might.
What's
not
the price differential between the two parts?
I don't know.
I'm unsure.
If the first one is on the lowest one,
It is.
and the second one is on like
The highest.
or maybe
middle.
just the next one.
The next one
Yeah,
up.
the next one up. That's not too bad, but like
If it jumps to the highest, it's a little.
like, Joe, really?
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you might as well put the whole thing on the highest level then.
Type
No.
shit.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Because I think it's a good way of baiting
It's a
people
good
into
strategy.
that.
It depends on what
now, because you also got to remember with Patreon, the fact that there's levels. You think you're happy at $5 level, and then you get to $10 level or $15
Some
level,
new
and you're
game.
like,
And
damn,
then-
I do like all these other shits I've been missing out on. You know
And
what I'm
then it
saying?
might
It
not-
sucks from a consumer's perspective, but it's good business for Joe.
It's good business though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he might not ever take it off of Patreon, but level 1 and 2 might all come down to $5 at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Quick little Christmas sale.
Yeah, you know
Black
what I'm
Friday.
saying? Exactly.
Yeah.
A Black Friday sale, we'll put it on $5 level for the next week.
Yeah.
And then it'll go back to the $25 level. You know what I'm saying?
What level was our Patreon on?
The lowest level 5.
Nah.
Yep.
Okay.
Shout out to all of our followers. Shout out to all of our people, like our people that
Yeah.
subscribed and bought Joe Budden Patreon
Yeah,
too, that
literally.
didn't have it before, because there
Yeah.
was quite a few of them that
Absolutely. It's a good number, though.
Yeah, now you said something to upset this nigga.
this nigga's communicating with me.
Yeah, he
Can
wants
let
you to
him
know
out, actually?
something.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
go.
for sure.
Go.
That I was like, yeah, he probably have to shit,
Please don't do it.
but he
Go, man.
don't know how to shit anymore.
You gotta get loose.
Go.
Bro, you have to do all of that.
Yeah. You better hope Peter ain't watching.
Go.
You remember
Go.
when he took a shit?
That was a classic episode.
Yeah, that was crazy. He sat on that was on Homeroom, right?
That was a homeroom episode.
Did
Yeah.
he fart on Homeroom too?
He
I
farted, but
remember
he definitely shit.
because I
Early
couldn't.
Homeroom was disgusting.
You have to go get him. He can't. He don't know what's going on.
Lord, he can't see you from that far.
Right.
This dog is 80 years old.
Yeah. Damn, Nala.
Yeah, Nylan 13.
I don't know what he wants.
He's like, God damn.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so crazy seeing a dog dragged by his collar. We talked about it a little before.
Especially an old dog. That's like when you see an elderly person like get escorted back into the retirement home.
Yeah.
But they want to go outside and shop and be autonomous.
Yeah,
Right,
fuck
right.
that nigga.
But let's get into this last thing.
Yeah.
It's just
Sick
office
ass
hours.
shit.
We didn't have that much, of course. Oh,
I'm about to say, are we going to talk about
talk about what?
the sick ass shit?
Let's see.
Wait, just say it, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Academics kind of officially,
Yes,
departed ways.
that's, what,
Yeah.
that's what I forgot. Yeah, let's talk
yeah.
about that. Yeah, let's talk about that before we get to office hours, because there's only one office hours. So Academics officially
It happened.
denounced Boom pretty much.
Cheerfully.
And he cried again.
It was a hard divorce. I didn't believe it myself.
You didn't believe that it was.
I didn't believe it was
actually gonna
that.
happen?
I didn't believe everything was that much.
But you know,
like this is like God damn.
HD tape is very damning.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard
Yeah.
to deny what your eyes can see.
Yeah, man. And it was like, and then even
Yeah.
and so what made him cry? Can you pull that up? Pull up Akademiks. So what happened? What really made him like kind of like tear up and just like be done with it is Boom was texting him during that stream because it was Boom did the stream with him for 5 hours lying and shit, and that was when 1090 Jake popped up. The very next day, the cosmetic aisle footage drops. And that's where, no denying it, we all saw in 4K, because it was the other one, the police's pen or hand was
It's a little
blocking the
weird,
screen.
but the new one,
The cosmetic aisle was like,
nigga,
that shit was nasty.
That's
It was,
the HD niggas was looking for right there.
yeah, it was the top-down view.
It wasn't a single pixel in that footage.
A girl was bent over looking at shit, and he was
and
literally...
he's hungry.
And he's hungry. And we saw
Yeah.
him on the prowl. We
Yeah.
literally saw him in action. And it was...
Damn.
There was two things that were all strange about it, but then it also makes sense. She might have froze. I was like, why is she there for that long? But she was also, you also got to keep in mind, this is like a child, like 10 or something. She
Exactly.
might have been frozen scared
Well,
or something. I don't know, but
There's a
it,
bunch of different reasons
I was
why
about
it
to say,
can happen.
it's 100
yeah.
different reasons. It doesn't matter either way because
Yeah.
he's doing that weird shit. But yeah, it
He
was
might
like,
be a professional. She
the
might
fact
not have known it
the
was
fact that
happening.
interaction lasted so long is what shocked me too. Like how he was just like, he would be moving in.
because it's
moving
not
out.
like
It wasn't like a
like boom now.
yeah, it was a lot of movement. It
Caressing
was
and
it
Well,
was weird.
It's like a shark, right? Bless you. It's like a shark.
Kinda.
You know, you take a bite, you swim around,
Nipping away.
see
at
like
it,
what's
yeah.
around. All right,
Yeah.
then let me go take another bite.
No, literally, yeah.
So,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
fucking weird as hell. Like, but yeah, that nobody could deny it. You can see the nigga's hand
You can
do
see
this.
it.
Like you saw it all.
You can
So
see it. Yeah.
Akademiks saw that and then he texted him.
Yeah, it was toward the end.
Is a man not supposed to cry when his brother does something like this, Bless you?
I don't feel as bad for the crying. for
These are
some
better
reason.
tears than the Saucy Santana
Exactly.
tears,
Like
for sure.
I can accept this more, right? Like imagine if one of us, like in your case, one of y'all,
Nigga.
you found out about him, I found out about a white man. It's like, and then you really have to stop fucking with your nigga. Like
And then it's just the idea.
yeah, like and you have this footage
And
and,
it's-
you're like, I know him.
It's
I
the
know him.
idea.
But now
like,
you got to completely disassociate.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's like
'Cause
I
we was
can-
on the same brand.
So
That's
I'm really not mad at the tears, bro. He really lost his nigga.
it's
You
just
know
like,
what I'm
nigga,
saying?
Walmart, bruh. Really? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kids.
You know what's crazy is he could have punched the old lady. He could have punched a woman. Like,
He could have sold a pregnant woman drugs.
and
being crazy
would-
is always better than being an edophile.
yes, bro.
Or whatever this is, a
Or
freak.
just being a regular criminal, having
Yeah.
priors. Like, that's
being
all better.
being a genuine creep.
Catching
Yeah.
a body, even under certain
All of that,
context.
all illegal. Yeah, in terms of that, it's the
Niggas
women
selling
and maybe
crack.
punching a woman, but
So-
women and children
fentanyl.
is always.
It's always off limits. It's crazy. It's, weird.
just
It's
Women
so
and
crazy.
children.
He
Yeah.
could have done anything else.
he did the two together.
Yeah.
A woman and a child.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the same aisle.
Yeah.
Worst combination.
Yeah, he literally
Yeah.
gave you the worst
Jeez.
combination to where I can't even
But then to stand on it for so long.
just stayed on it for so long.
Like,
Like
he did-
Akademiks
like-
said he was like, he gaslit me for 5 hours because we had a
Yeah.
5-hour stream of you essentially lying. And then this is what really fucked him up is during the thing when he was like, look, bro, this nigga's weird, bro. Like, I can't condone that shit. That shit is fucked up. I seen it, period. Like, it's fucked up.
There's no if or ands or buts about it.
He
for
started texting the nigga during the stream talking about, bro, that was 2 years ago. I apologize for leading you astray, but I'm better now. Because he kept
better
saying,
now.
Akademiks kept saying, bro, Boom needs help, period. Like, outside of me not being able to fuck with this nigga, this is a nigga that needs genuine help. He tried to say, like, I'm better now. And Ak is like, bro, you're trying to bullshit me even with
Said
this
I've
text
gotten the
message
help.
because if you had gotten the help and were actually better, you wouldn't have let me be on stream for 5 hours lying and shit.
Yeah.
You would have came all the way clean. This wouldn't it wouldn't have
would've-
even been a spectacle.
It wouldn't even been a spectacle. You would have said that was some weirdo shit that I did 2 years ago. I was going through these things. I went through my court. I did time. I did all these things. It would have been one of those.
He had to get exposed for the truth to be told, and even then, he's still
And even
taking
then-
like the pussy way out of this.
That's the only way he would have got out of this if he would have some way
Laid
like
it on
kind
the
of
line.
let it on the line, kind of doubled down on his weird, creepy fetish. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and double down on the healing of that weird
on the
thing.
healing
always-
and the other side.
Right, yeah.
And there's always gonna be
Yeah.
a demographic of people to where it's like, nigga, no matter what rehabilitation you go through,
And I'm one of them.
that's and
But
I'm one of them too.
But
really.
I'm happy that you
But
did do the steps.
no matter
fair.
what happened, you still the scum of the earth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
at
it's nothing we
least
can
you
do with
did
you.
genuinely do the steps, because nobody who didn't do the steps would come this honestly to the table.
He
But
going
what
the
to-
are
first
the-
time.
I feel like the steps is turning yourself in, nigga.
Yeah, he
I
going.
mean, the steps were like apparently his fucking psychosexual thing that he never went to.
That
So
can't
it was
do
like
nothing.
even part of the court
Yeah.
case. It was like he didn't even fulfill. He violated probation.
He didn't want to expose himself.
Yeah, it's like nigga, you violated probation.
He knew that, like that's
You
like
should have been
taking
trying
a
to put
piss
this
test.
behind you as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think this is the moment too, right here on screen.
Okay, yeah, this I think it is.
Think so?
I'm gonna sit or say it only to you, nobody else, and apologize to you for not telling beforehand and basically making it look stupid. You helped me through so much.
I thought my phone froze when this moment happened.
Yeah, no, he's just rocking back and forth. He's
Because I wasn't
I
looking
looked
at
at you like a big brother. I heard you say get help, but I want you to know, since that day, I've gotten help. And I've grown so much since then. I quit smoking, got off drugs, and changed my whole life around. What I did was wrong. Indirectly or not, I was just not in the right headspace whatsoever. I wish you the best in your life and in the future. I'm going to continue to better myself and take this as a growing experience.
Shit, sad as fuck.
This
And
is
that-
so sad.
and it's like
this melancholy ass monologue.
with every chin rub, he's just thinking about like the laughs, the money he probably gave him. Like, all right, little boom, need help here, nigga, $500. I'm rich, nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, but it's probably it's a sad situation. You know what I mean?
And honestly, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because it's like
For
academics.
Okay.
Losing your
He ain't do nothing.
losing
wrong.
your homie for real, like your real homie. It's like fuck. It's like it's fuck a lot of things after that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's really time for him to grow now. Like this might hurt him more than losing his bitch. Because at least if he lost his bitch, he would be able to chop it up with his homie.
Yo,
This might put it into perspective.
He's all alone now.
that's hilarious. And
All he has
yeah.
left is the terrorist.
And I think overall he's unaware that his ability to assess people is poor. And I think
He
this is one
mentioned
of
that.
those things that's going to make him realize
he mentioned
what's
that in this
actually
stream
going on.
too.
Like he has
a lot of
poor-
accountability in this stream.
And it's weird how like
he didn't even do it.
usually the turn in a man's life is a bitch, but you know
This might be, but chat niggas are different.
everybody's different.
Chat niggas specifically are different.
Sometimes you gotta have that homie that you know is going around Walmart patting bitches on the ass,
You gotta have
patting women. Sorry,
yeah,
girls.
yeah, girls, children.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
God damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we always
Yeah,
forget
I don't
that.
think you have to have that homie. I think you should probably
Yeah, you
avoid
should
that
avoid that
as much as possible.
homie.
That's like the average
That
chat
person.
nigga though. No, let me not put that.
No,
out.
that's crazy.
That's nasty.
Go on, yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was fucked
That
up.
was so below the belt.
That was.
You know what I'm saying?
That was dirty. That was dirty.
Crazy dirty,
That was
nigga.
dirty.
So that's the average.
I don't even know
chat
why
nigga.
I said that.
That's
Because
crazy.
I mean, well,
It
Sound
puts
like
it on them
M4,
though.
nigga.
When
I
you're
know
the
what
leader,
you mean.
you know what I'm saying?
Because like you think about all like the little keyboard YouTube niggas, they
Bro,
usually are in
he put the
certain
chat
rooms.
He put the chat niggas in a position where they had to denounce that they're not like him. When Akademiks did his stream, his like final apology of like we have to like completely say no, we're not fucking with him. Chat niggas had to actually say Lil Boom does not represent the chat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the fact that you have to say that,
yeah,
like that's how a society groups them together. Like,
but it's
they have to consciously say that they're not also
cahoots, yeah.
in cahoots. Walmart
Yeah.
walkers, even though they all were moving funny. Now, some advice for academics is the stream that they did with Lil Boom on that 5-hour stream where they were trying to defend him. All those niggas need to be excommunicated too. Let's go ahead and do a clean house. You lost your nigga already. Clean all these other niggas out. None of the Lil Boom is the only nigga that Akademiks said has ever slept at his house. That means all these other niggas are disposable. I think we should get rid of everybody defending this nigga in one clean sweep. X them all out. None of them are allowed back on the stream. And now it's time to build new friendships.
Nigga, he might have to start a new academy.
That's fine. That's fine. Cut all these
different state.
It's time to cut. It's time to cut these niggas' water off.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, not every chat nigga is the same.
But there was the ones that made it apparent to defend Boom.
How was the defending? I didn't hear.
The defending
it was more.
It was this before or after the new tape came out?
It was one before and one after, I think, because a lot of them were on there on some
and not trolling.
Not trolling. They were dead serious. One nigga in particular was on some shit like, well, what he did was weird, yeah, but I don't think it's right that niggas running around and call him the R word or pedo. And it's like, nigga, you're mad at us at the labels that the average man is gonna call somebody who watches this video?
The average consumer. It's an easy throw. Like,
yeah, but
you know, even if that's not what it is.
He's standing on that, but all I know is you don't put nothing like that on the nigga's jacket. Yeah, but you also don't do things like that so that you can avoid things like this being thrown on your jacket casually.
Yeah,
like,
and it's kind of jail nigga philosophy. Like I've heard this one dude on the podcast.
Nigga sold it on his jacket itself, nigga.
Literally, but like they get real specific about what a edophile is.
He was one of
those.
He was one of
them. Like he reads the paperwork.
Let's go ahead and get rid of this nigga too.
Yeah.
Get rid of him too.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
especially if you're not being funny about it.
Yeah, you're too defensive. There's no jokes.
We not splitting hairs. There's no semantics, nigga.
Yeah, bro. We seen the
Shit.
footage. We're hurt. We seen the footage. We saw the paperwork. We seen the ages. We saw the action.
There's no defense.
No defense, nigga.
Fuck the nigga.
No
you know
classification.
As hard as that works, Ak might not run around and say fuck Lil Boom, and he doesn't have to because he's the most hurt. But everybody else should collectively be on some fuck this nigga shit.
And it's so crazy because it's like, yeah, man, the nigga just weird. Because if he was going around touching grandmas, I'm trying to think like, we would make fun of that. It would be fucked up, but it's like
it wouldn't be nearly as bad.
Boom going around touching grandmas.
Yeah,
like
that would actually blow over.
But it's so
he'd still be a part of everything.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That would still be problematic. Though.
It'd still be problematic for
It'd
sure.
Still be problematic.
But this is a permanent deletion.
This is
a permanent deletion from the group. And if he comes back, nigga, if Lil Boom, if Akademiks allows him back, I'm not gonna lie, I'm going straight evil on Akademiks forever.
He's not. Yeah, I don't think you got to worry about it.
I hope he doesn't.
I don't think.
But if he does allow him, there was a conspiracy theory in the Reddit, and they were like, Ak is on stream with somebody with a voice changer on. I think it's Boom, and they were like
recently, right?
I was like, I believed the headline, of course, at first, and then like read the comments. They're like, nigga, that's this person and this person. Like, they're in VR right now. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, he might still be in.
That's crazy.
That would have been crazy though if he let him back on.
Than what it actually was,
bro. That'd have been crazy if he let him back on the next day with a voice changer though.
Yeah, who lost more in the scenario, Boom or Ak? And of course, this is assuming still fuck Boom, but just curious.
Boom, no questions asked.
It's not even a competition.
Because it's the thing too. It's like, yeah, Akademiks has had people. Leaf is the main nigga that's been with him the whole time or whatever.
Okay.
So I think Leaf is the one that's reaped the most benefits being near Akademiks. Them other niggas, I don't think they really reap benefits from being.
Nah, we don't know that.
Well,
we don't know.
It sounds like Boom was one of them.
For all of, I think like Akademiks might have been like paying him some of his salary for the year, like for real.
Possibly, but
potentially.
they don't
like just
look
having Boom on your payroll. Like, hey, nigga, I'll
for sure a little something.
I'll throw you a couple thousand. Like, nigga, fuck it, just come on my stream.
Right.
You know, moderate my chat, nigga.
Bro, them tears had like mascara drippings in them. He was definitely on his payroll.
It had some dollar signs coming down his face, nigga. Like, god damn.
I wonder if Boom
Tears should have went
like,
back
what
up.
he did
Like, I'm about to save money this year.
But you losing the whole.
But that's at the fifth stage of grief.
That is the fine. The accounting is the very last one. You really lost. You lost your nigga.
All right, let's look at these pros.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, nah, shit.
Goddamn Akademiks.
Well, Akademiks, maybe this is a wake up. I don't know how many wake up calls Akademiks need. But
too many.
Man, I just hope we don't keep laying down these bricks of this home. Because it's like
it's being built.
He's building himself
quickly,
a solitary confinement center.
Yeah, it's being built really nicely.
This shit is insane.
I'm about to say, man.
Yeah, high quality, upper echelon crib, mansion being built right now.
We could make this a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
We can get Lauren to play Akademiks.
This nigga is supernatural,
God.
nigga.
I kind of look like him. It's kind of
crazy.
trash.
You look the most like him.
Yeah, it's kind of
And you
crazy.
can do the Jamaican accent.
It's fucked
We
up.
get your
And
little
you
fat
got
suit.
like you're not even acting at some point. It's
Yeah.
like you can just channel it.
Too bad I just got back in the gym. I could have had a gut for it.
Depends on how committed to the bit you are.
Yeah, we get you a fat
Willing
suit,
to put
nigga.
some months aside.
Throw it
nigga.
on. You gotta have some ingrown hairs on it.
All right, let's do the office hour.
Yeah.
Haha. Office hour.
Office hour is a segment of the show.
Oh yeah.
Where if you ask us any questions, you do hashtag office hours in the comments. It'll be applied and we'll answer the following show.
Yeah, and it's usually office hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a lot of people commenting. But
We
yeah,
got a few
office
lazy
hours.
students.
Any questions or concerns? Typically it's probably going to be about the podcast that we talked about in the show. But really whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? Just ask us something.
Think of it as spare time with your professor. You know, when we're not grading papers, we just sit in the office
Like
pontificating.
the 5 minutes before like you have to leave my classroom, like, it's kind of cordial, everybody chilling and shit. That's kind of what office hours is.
All right.
Mexican.
Two sus just.
Two sus, just.
Yeah.
Office hours. You know what? For a second, I thought he added an extra, like, he tried to make office look fancy, but that's the cursor. I literally thought he tried to add a little.
Oh yeah, like a
A
little.
little
I had a
something
cursor
over
up
top
here.
of
Flamboyant.
yeah. It was the
Nigga.
cursor. I was about to say, no, you didn't try to put a little fucking razzle dazzle
And
on
he's
office
Mexican.
hours.
The nigga said gracias.
Literally. But
Yeah, everything worked out, bro. Yeah.
But hashtag office hours, gracias for the Friday Pod Kings, a bunch of black hand emojis.
Bunch of
So
these.
he's probably Dominican if he's, speaking Spanish. But that's
sure he's
his own.
black.
We know AJ said he'd share his hidden talent for 10K Patreon subscribers. But what's Tone doing for 5K subs? Noble for 1K. White man for 100. Is that how much they value us?
Why do they go
That's how much they
down like
value
that?
us.
It's kind of crazy. It's
You
really
ain't
fucked
worth
up.
nothing.
Why do they think your talent is worth 5 and mine is worth 1?
Hey, it's up to them.
Nigga, the
They
way
decide.
the shit dropped in
That's
fucking
crazy.
value is crazy.
Fuck
Crazy.
out. And yours is worth 10.
100.
What the fuck do
Yeah,
you
nah, that's
do?
insane. But that's because they really want to see him tap dance.
Yeah,
They've seen his toe movement. He's
Damn.
fetishized himself.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
For
That
5K.
I never even thought about that.
Like, if y'all have hidden talents?
I mean, Nick, hidden. I try not to have. Yeah. A lot of my talent.
Maybe not. Yeah, because mine wasn't hidden. It's just, you just don't know about it until it came up in convo.
That's hidden though.
It's not hidden.
That's not hidden.
That's hidden.
That's
though.
not the same
hidden.
thing, no.
I think hidden is one of those
Because
things.
y'all had the conversation on the LOI show when y'all were sitting on this couch. That was
Yeah.
the first time it came up.
Yeah.
When y'all did an episode over here.
Hidden is one of those things where it's like, it's just like you can't see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you do what?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
not crumping. I can see a crump.
Yeah, right.
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I used to
But
crump a
nigga,
little bit too.
Like tap dancing, nigga. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It only seems hidden when it's something you didn't expect. That's all.
Right. Yeah, for real.
But it ain't
though.
really hidden though. It's just like
It's just not obviously
Yeah.
being marketed by what you see on the surface
Yeah.
level.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing for 5K subs. Hidden talents, nigga.
Nigga,
I
he's
probably-
getting nothing from me for that. I don't know what he thought.
That nigga said you were
100,
for
nigga.
100,
I don't know
nigga.
what he
This
thought.
nigga, white man worth 100 too.
This
That's crazy.
Come on, man.
You went to the lowest show
and, you know,
prices.
that's fucked up, just because I called that alley the other day,
He
and I
did,
had to,
you
you know,
did.
that's real fucked up, my
That
boy.
is,
What
yo.
I just had to let you know that, man.
About his whole name.
Yeah,
like, and he left a comment like, white man's on it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
like-
like, he did big him up. Like, they
Like,
had
what
a
do you-
moment,
yeah,
and
what do
now
you
he
think
done valued the nigga
bro.
at 100
Like,
subs.
Nigga,
that's
it's
crazy.
no friends in the comment section.
I was
This
about to
nigga's
say.
weak
It
for that,
changes
bro.
bi-weekly.
You
Conversation
see, he
is
put the 3
ruthless.
praise hands. This
White man
goddamn
for
nigga.
100. God damn. Yeah, nah.
I don't know what I'm doing for 1K.
Nothing.
I don't know.
You don't got no special abilities, nigga.
I don't know. We might have to do something crazy.
For 5K, I'll dunk a basketball. Fuck it.
Nigga,
I
that's
don't
not
think you can do
special.
that.
That ain't that special.
I don't think you can do that anymore.
It's
I was
cooler
about
than
to say.
tap dancing.
Damn, white man said you can't dunk at all. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that time's over.
White
for
men
you.
couldn't even imagine.
Well,
what
actually,
the
you might be
ring
able to
feels
dunk
like.
now because you could fly. You're featherweight, so
Hey, y'all can watch LOI for that innuendo.
Sounds like the
Fly.
glove.
Yeah.
Sounds like the funniest thing Lawrence ever said. But I would gladly fly right over Lawrence.
Nigga, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have been high most of this whole time and just so fucking tired, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm just not getting my juices back. That's why you had to get that one.
Oh.
So he got that in at the last
Nigga,
minute.
keep your juices to yourself.
Pause.
Right. Juices did sound
pause,
crazy.
pause,
Crazy,
pause,
nigga.
pause,
Yeah,
pause.
you ruin all your momentum.
I said the
You
flowing.
could just bask in the sunlight.
I might have lost it like that quick.
Juices.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
still,
man.
It's still at a it's still at a turn start right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Two Such Just, man.
Shout out to Two Such Just. Does
You
he
know
have
what
any
I'm saying.
music?
Two Such Just?
Yeah, see, go to his YouTube page. See if he has
Oh shit.
Yeah, click on that video, the one you were just on. That was the last episode.
Yo, if he
that's where we
rap,
had it on, right?
Yeah. See if he's got any music videos.
There you go.
let's see what you got. Two Such Just.
Let's see if we get
The nigga
What?
draws.
the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, he's nice.
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
Hey yo,
Put this on the screen.
I
Nigga.
did.
this convenient as shit.
Is
We
there-
might need
is
somebody
there-
that
is
can
there
draw.
sound?
Nah, let me throw it on.
I was just so fucking sad and so in shock.
Oh, go back.
That's
We
his
gotta hear
logo.
what the fuck he
Hey,
said.
that's his logo right there, though.
Of course, it got
Speaking of
out
hidden talents.
who had killed them. And before it even got out, Ice-T had texted me that later on that night. He was like, hey, your information was right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Again, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. I was just so fucking sad and so in shock. I was like,
He's Loki.
my cousin heard
That's
about
Loki,
it immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucked up situation. And
Why does his voice sound
the thing that
familiar?
hurt so much is because
Because he listened to it.
He's listening to an interview. That's not him talking.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's listening to
he
something.
had 2 billion things left to do
That's
that he wanted
Benny,
to.
the
And
jeweler.
I'm pretty sure he was gonna
talking.
I'm sure he was gonna
Yeah.
just achieve work. I have work, right? But I mean, you have to have, in order to make money in this business, you have to.
Two Such Just, what the?
Let me re-clarify this.
He just touching up his drawings.
This is a new lane of content. He's adding shading.
Killing it though.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. There's a precise
Two
measurement.
Such, you gotta get a tripod there, brother.
Yeah, and Two Such, follow our pages. You know what I mean? We might need a nigga that can draw.
Right, this shit is solid. Go to
You know what I'm
let's look
saying?
at another. How long ago did this come out?
That's his logo right there. That's his, I think that's
That
the
is his
caricature
logo,
of
yeah.
himself.
This one
That dude,
4
that dude
years
looks
ago.
sus.
I was about to say Two Such.
Go
Follow
to his page, see if that's the most.
go
What's his
back.
most recent?
follow
years
LOI.
ago.
You draw that
Let's
Batman?
see. 2 years ago.
Oh shit, this nigga upgraded, put color.
Is
on
that
it
Kobe
and
right
everything.
Yeah.
Yup, that's Kobe.
Oh, Kobe. The Kobe one. I need to see it.
Nah, I just want to see his most recent work before he stopped
This is it.
uploading.
Oh, he's a
Is there
furry.
Is there sound?
Yeah, my fault.
Satisfying self has been primary.
Yeah, go back again. I want to hear the whole thing.
Is that Nardwuar?
Almsgiving. It's becoming charitable. It's having a sense of loving kindness, care, and concern for others. So, satisfying self has been primary.
Yes.
In the fallen human person.
Oh, this
Now,
nigga's
Jesus
nice.
comes into your heart. Now it's no longer about me, myself, and I. I develop a sensitivity and a consciousness and a compassion and a care for other people, their condition, where they are. So acts of charity detach us from self-centeredness and brings us to a place of unselfish love. Because true love is unselfish.
Self-centeredness and unselfish love.
Exactly. Because there can be selfish love. I love you.
Because.
Which means I've got an agenda, I've got a condition, I want something in return. If you can't give me that in return, I don't love you anymore.
So that leans more towards lust, though.
Well, exactly. True love is not transactional.
No.
Like that. I love you. Jesus said, if you love those who love you, the sinners do that. Where are you different? Where is there a distinction between you and the ordinary individual? All right? Love is the desire to benefit the one loved at the expense of self. So love is always sacrificial.
I wish.
All right? Charity fosters love and care for our neighbor.
Yes.
Two dudes.
And that's important. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love neighbor as yourself.
Well, you can't ever say we don't love our viewers. You know?
I was about to say, man.
I never say that.
Well, I wish I had some inspirational shit. God damn.
found out this nigga's hidden talent. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's not really that well hidden.
Right. Besides making spicy comments, it's
But nah, man.
this nigga's
Hey,
a whole cartoon drawer.
He's a
I'm about to say,
cartoonist.
Tusas, if you're not following us, man, make sure you follow us, DM us. Yeah, follow all our pages for
Run
sure.
some work for you.
Hell yeah, nigga. Follow Lil Wild, follow Menace.
Yeah, what Two Such Jazz? What the fuck you gonna do for us when we hit a certain amount
I
of
bet-
subscribers?
Yo, it might be a video of him drawing the Black Panther with just Menace material playing in the background.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, or something like that. Nigga, you need to get on TikTok, nigga.
Yeah, for real.
That's some TikTok. You
Getting out of he
get
clip
some
it up
easy,
real nice.
Some easy reels.
Get the sounds real
Well-
satisfying.
Talented ass nigga.
We found another. That's the second time we've watched somebody in our comments like content.
Oh yeah, and if if y'all watching this, if y'all need somebody that can draw, hit up Two Such Just.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? For some
he
work.
He hasn't uploaded in 2 years though, so he might not even be on it no more.
That's a real artist.
Right,
It's like he's
that's
not
true.
focused on
Social
like
media ain't
he's
shit to them.
working, nigga. He got
Right.
projects. Yeah.
This nigga's living room is fucked up. It's
Yeah,
got paint on the wall. This nigga got canvases and
Domino's,
paint.
Pizza Hut,
Yeah,
all types of boxes,
Permanent
nigga.
marker stains.
Nigga, literally. But nah, man. Shout out to Two Such Just.
For sure.
That is office hour. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
what's
Usually
up?
office hours. But any questions or concerns, y'all get the point. You know what I'm saying? We gonna touch on it.
Yeah. So,
But yeah.
Oh shit. Let me know. Hold on 1 second.
Aha, the bell was late.
That's the end of the show, man.
I was about to say, man, it's been good. It's been great. You know what I mean? Yeah, make sure y'all comment down below. Send the white man, you know what I mean? Good luck, you know what I'm saying, on the flight and shit. But really appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you for clicking on the video. Make sure you subscribe and comment and even review us and rate us on Apple Podcasts and all that.
Yeah,
and
both of them,
Spotify
yeah.
for all that.
And
But
and also remember, you know, it's gonna be a bunch of clips coming out this week. Make sure y'all, even if you've seen the content,
yeah,
go
let's
ahead,
let niggas know now.
hit them up again. You know what I'm saying? Make sure. I'm glad I did it in the beginning, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a clip. It's gonna be clip crazy weekend.
It's gonna be a clip week, but you know, just be proud that we have enough back catalog to
And
even
they're,
throw it.
and they're
you
still
know
getting
what
new
I'm saying?
content. They're still getting 3 new shows this week.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
There's
man.
plenty of ammunition. You're going to be thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, I'm
for
sorry that we have so much
7
content
days.
for y'all.
Yeah,
but, you know, we're trying to keep that retention on the entire page. Huh?
Hey, you know, we got a big family to feed, so the plates got big portions.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. But you know, it's been a beautiful episode. Oh, one more thing. LOI the show. We're hosting the show January 26th. Go to LOI the show on IG to get further information about that. But all in all, beautiful show. Thank you for watching. White man behind the boards.
Yo.
J Noble, Strong Group,
AJ the Menace.
and we out.